It's time for Oskaloosa Indians football on the No Coast Network. Brought to you by Bank Iowa, Mahaska Drug, William Penn University, Fairway, Raymond James Financial Services, Roxburt's Decorating Center, Oskaloosa Vision Center, Swim Sports Awards and Screen Printing, Hawkeye Real Estate, Cloud Valve Company, Robert Auld Investments, Mahaska, Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, Penn Central Mall, Kelly Style Insurance, Oskaloosa Area Chamber and Development Group, Pedrito Orthodontics, and Pella Printing. Oskaloosa Indians football starts now on the No Coast Network.
And welcome in. We are live. We are from the Oskaloosa and Washington football game, live from Washington High School, and you're listening to us live on 99.5 FM and AM 740, KMZN, and RadioKMZN.com. Unfortunately, no live video tonight, so if you're looking for that, you're going to have to live with the audio for us due to internet concerns here at Washington High School. But first things first, my partner Doug DeCock is sitting up here with me. And Doug, this matchup is, you can't really spell it out any more clear than we can right now. This is for a playoff berth in Class 3A District 5. Solon has the #1 seed locked up. Winner of this matchup is going to be in that 2 slot, barring any crazy things happening this week and next week outside of this game. And the loser of this game is going to have to wait patiently and hope that they're going to be able to do enough to get a wild card, one of the 2 wild card slots in Class 3A.
Yes, yeah, you're exactly right, Emery, and I've been saying it all week. This is for a playoff spot. I'm not sure what the other crazy scenarios are, but maybe Solon getting beat by I don't know who.
It would take a lot. It would take an awful lot.
This is basically for a playoff spot tonight, and what a matchup we have here in Washington. I think they're 8th-ranked Demons, 6-1, going against 5-2 Indians. This game was everything you could expect in a football game last year. It was crazy.
And that was after Washington had come off a loss to Keokuk a couple weeks prior.
Yeah, and Oskaloosa commits 6 turnovers, stops the Demons on the goal line to win a game, 28-27, and secure a playoff berth. But we have very similar teams tonight. If you look at the stats, it's like they mirror each other all the way from total yards through everything. So we got an evenly matched football game tonight, and maybe a little bit later we'll touch on a couple of the keys that I think we got to watch for tonight.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that, Doug. Once again, why this is interesting, and believe me, I don't imagine any other scenarios outside of this game deciding the 2nd spot for the playoffs in this district. But what I can tell you is when you have a situation like this district, we were looking at BC More Rankings does a really good job of using analytics and scores and scores not only against your other district opponents, but your non-district opponents as well, to kind of figure out where the strength is. This is not a very strong district. In fact, it is the weakest district in terms of the depth in teams in Class 3A, which makes upsets not happen too frequently. So with that all being the case, these 2 teams, it's been a while since either of these teams have been tested, especially Washington. I think it was 4 weeks ago they saw Solon. For Oskaloosa, it's been 3 weeks since they saw Solon. And do you think that factors in at all with these 2 teams and what they have? Because this is definitely a couple of steps up from the competition they played in recent weeks.
Well, if one team would have just come off of playing somebody tough a couple weeks ago, they've had, like you said, it's been 3 and 4 weeks since they've had their tough games. So I don't really see that as being a problem. Both teams are going to be sky high for this. These guys do not like each other. Let's just get that out right now. That's going to be one of the keys to the game, is who can control their emotions and not get the big personal fouls, because there's no love loss here. These 2 teams do not like each other. Washington's kind of trying to protect their territory. The Indians come into the district last year, knock them off, knock them out of the playoffs. After they were ranked #1, they weren't very happy about that. So they're kind of used to being the bully on the block down in this part of the state, and they don't want somebody to come in and knock them off, especially 2 years in a row.
Yeah, head coach Garrison Carter's team has the last 3 weeks, they lost 40-0 to Solon. That's their only loss of the season, but in the last 3 weeks they beat Fairfield 35-7, Keokuk 63-0, and West Point Notre Dame 73-0. So they are on fire here coming into this one. Oskaloosa has lost to Solon 43-7 a few weeks ago, and then at Fairfield 54-0, and then at home against Keokuk last week in senior night 56-14. So some impressive stuff up and down here for both of these teams the last few games that they've played, and they'll be looking to try to continue that here tonight.
Emory, I actually do think that Oskaloosa playing Pella the last few years and playing them again this year is a little bit of an advantage, because if Oskaloosa comes out here and smacks them in the mouth and puts it up 14 quick, they're going to really be doubting how good they are after Solon. But Oskaloosa's played Solon, they played Pella. Washington did not have a tough non-conference schedule either.
Albia and at Mid-Prairie.
So I would give a little bit of a lean to Oskaloosa maybe on that.
Yeah, that's something we'll talk about, including the statistics in just a little bit. But for first, we'll take our first break of the evening, and we'll come back, get you set with some statistics, let you know what Doug's keys to the game are. And when we come back, of course, we're just about 23 minutes or so away from the opening kickoff. Oskaloosa looking to get their second consecutive playoff berth as they are on the road to face Washington right here on the No Coast Network.
It's time for...
Wonder what the outrageously energizing experience of Mountain Dew Kickstart is like? Well, it's like a combo of 3 awesome things: dew, juice, and caffeine, rebooting your entire personal operating system.
Mountain Dew Kickstart is in position for consumption.
Release the Mountain Dew Kickstart.
Mountain Dew Kickstart released. Experiencing a charge of Mountain Dew Kickstart now.
Mountain Dew Kickstart operation successful.
Roger that.
Get charged up with Mountain Dew Kickstart, now in 2 energizing new flavors: mango lime and raspberry citrus. Fuel with flavor.
Dreams start early, illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
We love to help people with their smiles. Petrito Orthodontics of Ottumwa and Oskaloosa is all about creating beautiful smiles and increased self-esteem that lasts a lifetime. We specialize in creating individualized smiles by committing to make each visit a memorable experience. Our office is equipped with state-of-the-art technology to ensure optimum results. For help with your smile, call Petrito Orthodontics.
Clow Valve Company of Oskaloosa is very proud of all area students involved in any school activities. They know that being involved takes dedication and hard work put forth by each student. Clow Valve Company reminds you to support our area students in the various activities that they're involved in. School activities are important in molding young people into healthy, successful adults, as they are an important part of a good community. Congratulations to all area students from Clow Valve Company in Oskaloosa.
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
Oskaloosa football on the air on the No Coast Network. Emory Sunger, Doug DeCock. We're about 33 minutes away as a little bit of a late game. Running late was the freshman game in which Washington won 41-7, and they just did their senior night. So to get the full warm-ups for both teams, as that just wrapped up, we're about 33 minutes away from the opening kickoff here tonight. So a little bit of a longer pregame show, which we can talk a lot more football, Doug. And we're sitting here talking about this matchup, and last year was a tough way to lose a ball game for Washington, and you mentioned it. Not only is this senior night for them, which is always very prideful for the teams that are dealing with senior night, much like Oskaloosa did last week. But it's also incredibly important for Oskaloosa to know that this team is going to be angry at Oskaloosa for the way that Washington's postseason hopes went up in flames at Lacey Recreation Complex last week. Well, last year, rather.
I think that psychologically, yeah, I think that's a little bit of an advantage for Washington there. They got a little bit of a revenge factor. But you got to remember, Washington kind of gets put on a pedestal because I think they won the championship back in 2013. So they're kind of like Notre Dame. If they're winning, they put them in the rankings. And
well, you say that, and I'll stop you right there, Doug, because the Radio Iowa poll has done a very good job after their loss to Solon. They slipped a ways. They were toward the top in the Radio Iowa poll, and then they slipped all the way down to number 9 after beating Mount Pleasant by just 2. And then after the Solon loss, they haven't even touched the rankings. Our BC Moore rankings have them at 28.
Yeah, and so if you go back to last year, they were ranked number 1 for 3 or 4 weeks. They come into Oskaloosa, you're thinking, oh boy, we got a number 1 ranked team coming to town, but we made 6 turnovers and still won the game. So that's one of the things we got to do tonight. If we take care of the football and we're physical with them, I think we're going to be all right. But taking care of the ball is going to that is key number 1 that you're going to hear from me tonight.
Key number 1, I think that could also go for key number 2 and key number 3, honestly, because you have no business winning a game. You turn the ball over 6 times, much like Oskaloosa did last year in this matchup. But I think another key is you want to make sure that you keep that yellow laundry off the field on your side. That has been something that has been a chronic problem. And after the first 3 weeks, Oskaloosa did a much better job of cleaning that up. But there are still some penalties that have proved to be costly and hurting drives, making drives a little harder than they needed to be. And if you're an Oskaloosa player, you've been told the last month or so from Coach Jenkins and the staff, they've been calling every penalty in practice and making you run hills for them. So I think the discipline has definitely improved on this team from what we saw in week 1.
Yeah, and a lot of those penalties come away from the ball, which is really frustrating because they absolutely have nothing to do with the play, and we got somebody holding or something on the backside or away from the ball. So that gets really frustrating. That is a key. Another key for me tonight is their defensive line versus our offensive line. Are we going to be able to handle them up front and give Seth a little bit of time to throw the ball? If we can do that, that's going to be a key, that's going to be a big advantage for Oskaloosa if we can handle them up front. The other thing I'm looking at, going to really watch tonight, is tackling. They've got some explosive players. They got some guys that can take it to the house. If we're missing tackles at 3 yards and they're turning them into 15 and 20-yard gains, we're in trouble. We've got to. It's going to be hard enough with their line. They have a very solid line getting to the ball carrier, but we've got to tackle well tonight. So to me, turnovers / penalties, our offensive line versus their defensive line, and do we tackle tonight and make the plays on defense?
How important is it to establish a running game? I know Oskaloosa prefers to do that first and foremost. That opens up the pass. It's kind of a difference in philosophy. Sometimes teams run the ball to set up the pass. Sometimes teams like to pass the ball to open up the run. Is there a preference that you think is important for Oskaloosa to do offensively to try to get off and running here in this first quarter?
Well, Oskaloosa's passing game is almost like a running game because they'll just shoot the ball out to one of the receivers, and so it's basically like a pitch, but it's a pass, and then they run. So I do not look for us to be able to run the ball inside the tackles tonight. I think we're going to be beating our head against the wall if we keep trying to do that. I do look for us to show some new things tonight. In fact, you're going to see some new things. I'm not going to tell you what they are right now, but you're going to see some new stuff tonight out of Oskaloosa's offense. And I was at practice Wednesday. I liked what I saw. So they're going to try some different things. I don't look for them to try to bang it up the middle very much. Now, if they loosen them up with those quick passes to the flankers, and they loosen them up to where they got them flowing outside, then you're going to see Howard with that quarterback up the middle, or Casey Hill right up the middle, that play that works for Oskaloosa.
We do have a couple of updates on player personnel for Oskaloosa. Tucker Nunnekoven is officially out for the rest of the season. He did get a last-ditch effort to try to get him on the field after he played week 1. Remember, he did not play at all in his junior year, but He does play basketball. He does play baseball, and I think baseball is kind of where he's aiming the next level for. Talked to him actually before this game, and you know me, I can't keep it away from baseball for too long, and he said he's got a goal already that he wants to hit 400 in his senior year. And if you take away his first week and a half in baseball last year, he may have hit 400 last year. So he's got goals, and it doesn't make any sense to risk him coming out here for the last few weeks of this season.
It's a neck. I mean, you don't mess around with the neck. And like you said, he's got baseball, but he's a very important part of our basketball team. He's one of our defensive stoppers. He comes in off the bench, plays good minutes. So, yeah, I talked to him Wednesday night when I was out at practice, and I think he's disappointed, but I think he understands, hey, there's more stuff down the line that's more up my alley, and I'll do my damage there.
Absolutely. Guys that we do see in uniform, Isaac Schultz, not sure we're going to see him tonight. It was the first time he's been in pads in a while. And Vincent Ramirez in pads for the second straight week. Last week we kind of guessed as though it was a senior night aesthetics kind of thing, but he has been medically cleared. I talked to Coach Jenkins prior to this one, kind of asked him, you think about Vincent yet? And he said, we've upgraded him from doubtful to questionable, and he will be a game time decision. So,
well, here's what I think they're going to do with him. They're going to see how the game's going. If we're having problems stopping the run, I think you're going to see Vincent tonight.
Really? I think the opposite. That. I think if the scoreboard is a 3 or 4 score game in the last quarter and a half, then
no. I'm saying early in the game.
Really?
If it looks like we're having problems at that linebacker spot, you might see Vincent early in the game. I just got a hunch that you might see that. It'll be inspirational to the players. And Vincent, he'll go 100% out there. There's no doubt about that.
If you missed it, right after he got done with the CrossFit Games, he's one of the fittest teenagers on planet Earth. Won the CrossFit Games as a 15-year-old, and in the 17-16-year-old division, 16-17-year-old division, I should say, he finished in 5th, and he was the only athlete in the top 12 in that division that was a 16-year-old. So this is an unbelievable athlete in itself. But as soon as he got back to football practice, broke his hip on a non-contact injury, which is scary, and he was immediately declared maybe a 12-week recovery for this. Well, here we are 8 weeks later, and the kid is medically cleared. He's out there in pads, and we'll see if we see him tonight. That's just kind of a miraculous thing. And in a game like this, it would write itself as a storybook ending for Oskaloosa towards the end of this regular season to see 27 stroll out there in the white and maroon uniform. We'll go ahead and we'll take another break. When we come back, we'll continue our breakdown of these two teams, let you know what other games are happening in this district and around our listening area, and get you set for the kickoff about 25 minutes away. Oskaloosa against Washington, a playoff spot on the line, right here on the No Coast Network.
Wonder what the outrageously...
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
At Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, we're proud to keep the Oskaloosa Indians and their fans safe and feeling good on and off the field. Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy is the expert in injury care, orthopedics, and sports rehab, with a new facility in Oskaloosa, complete with an open gym area in addition to several private treatment rooms. If pain is bugging you, come see the experts at Kinetic Edge for a free injury screen. Find out more, including why the Oskaloosa Indians trust Kinetic Edge, at kineticedgept.com.
You built a castle so that the prince and princess can live happily ever after. You brought the sunshine to shine upon the whole family's future. But when the sun hides behind the clouds, State Farm can help. We put the life back in life insurance to protect your family's finances, not only in the future, but today.
Call your State Farm agent Kelly Style in Oskaloosa today.
For over 30 years, Pella Printing has been leading the way in the print industry with quality equipment, modern facilities, and skilled staff. The Pella approach combines old world craftsmanship with today's cutting-edge technology to provide brilliant printed products at a value price. They take the time to understand clients' needs from design to pre-press to printing and delivery to build lasting relationships with their customers. Whether you need personalized graduation announcements, oversized posters and banners, marketing materials, or stationery, Pella Printing offers a broad assortment of quality printed products done with speed and precision. Pella Printing, where technology and craftsmanship meet.
At Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, getting your prescription filled is easy. The large covered drive-thru and easy access to the front door is convenient, and the friendly staff is always ready to help you. With a variety of goods and home decor, Mahaska Drug is sure to have the perfect gift for any occasion. Have your favorite photos developed and framed at Mahaska Drug's framing counter, and cherish your memories for years to come. It's all at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, where they have been committed to a healthy community for over 20 years. Call 673-3439 or stop in today.
The student community at William Penn made an impression on me. It's a real statement that you can come here and be part of something real.
You have the opportunity to participate in activities.
The coaches are awesome. It's easy to play for coaches that care about you.
The real experiences at Penn have helped shape who I'm going to be when I graduate. I work harder because I want to be part of the conversation in class.
I am a leader.
I am a trailblazer.
I'm proud to be a statesman.
We're back here live at Washington's high school football field, not on the campus of the high school, kind of like the old days, but here at Case Field in Washington. We're still about 21 minutes or so away from the opening kickoff as Washington hosts Oskaloosa. Both teams sitting at the same spot in district play. Washington 6-1 overall. They find themselves at 5-1 in district play. Or 4-1 in district play, rather. Oskaloosa in the exact same spot, 4-1 in the district, 5-2 overall. And the winner of this one will be the number 2 seed, by all accounts, barring the miraculous happening to create tiebreaker scenarios. But it would take a lot, and Mount Pleasant's the only team that has a chance to do that, unless a team like West Burlington Notre Dame defeats Solon, which I don't know about you, Doug, but I don't see that happening. But so if you just use your brain here,
I don't know, unless if they score, they win. five shutouts for Solon.
Yeah, that would be incredible. But if you look at what we have, Solon hosts West Burlington Notre Dame. They're only a 70-point favorite.
Wow.
So yeah, there's that. Mount Pleasant, and you know, you're looking at this, and Mount Pleasant actually is 2-3 in district play already. So you know, trying to do the hard math in my head to figure out how a situation, I don't think there is a situation mathematically that you can see Solon would have to lose. That's the only way that you would have a potential tiebreaker scenario all the way around. And even then, I think this game would decide the second seed regardless, because Solon has a win over both Oskaloosa and Washington this season. So the way that the state does it is actually pretty simple. We make it sound very complicated, but either way, when you look at what this game means, both these teams are going to be ready to go. Big crowd on hand from Oskaloosa as usual. If you're looking for a live video stream, we don't have one for you tonight. Washington High School, they athletics director Brent Van Wielden said, well, maybe next year I think we're going to have internet here. And I said, well, Coach, or Mr. Van Wielden, you missed us by a year. But no internet here at the Washington High School football field. We just can't take that risk. So we'll give you a radio broadcast. We have the film that we are filming currently, and we'll be putting that up on our No Coast Network YouTube channel. It'll also be replayed starting on Wednesday next week on MCG Channel 7, and you'll be able to check out our stretch portal as well by going to our website at radiokmzn.com and clicking Stream Archive. Doug, we talked a lot about the players and some of the stats for this game, but you played in some big games in your career with Oskaloosa, not necessarily just against Washington, but against just any team that kind of has an aura about them, or a team that several people thought were state contenders, not only to get to the UNI Dome, but maybe to win a state title. And you know, Washington was ranked, you know, number 1, number 2 to begin this season. And after some slow starts against a team like Mount Pleasant and you lose to Solon, they fell out of the rankings pretty quickly in most rankings that I use, for instance. But you just never know, because a team like this expects to win these kind of games, and they know what happened when these two teams met last year. What, from your experience as a player, kind of the jitters that both Oskaloosa and Washington are feeling, knowing what's on the line here tonight?
Well, I don't think there's any doubt there's jitters. I know there was in my house, and I don't think you're normal if you're not a little bit nervous coming into this game. Both teams, you know, they're so even on paper. You're expecting one hell of a game tonight. And so you got to stay in it the whole way. You got to keep playing hard and see what happens. But, yeah, I'm nervous. I'm sure they're nervous. Once they get those first few hits in, they'll be ready. If I'm Washington, I'm kind of wondering, you know, where do I stand here? And that's why I say if Oskaloosa can jump out and get a lead early, Washington may start to doubt themselves a little bit.
And that's what you're looking for if you're Oskaloosa. But Washington, I'm sure, feels if they can get a quick stop or two defensively and score the first points of this game with this home crowd behind them, knowing what's at stake, knowing what they've been through. Ryan Rickard, a senior, when he was a sophomore, the ranting and raving about this kid could not have been more correct. He was an unbelievable player. He had an unbelievable year as just a sophomore, and you were fair to assume that he was going to be better as a junior and a senior and lead this team to what was going to be a fantastic couple of years here under head coach Garrison Carter. But what ends up happening, Doug, is he gets hurt last year, and that not only hurts them in the Solon game that they eventually lost, but they lost to Keokuk last year, which really put them behind the 8 ball heading into the Oskaloosa game because they knew they weren't, if they lost that game, they had no chance at a wild card, and they almost beat Oskaloosa and Oskaloosa last year. Then you have Rickard coming back in here for this season, and you're saying, hey, guess what? They might be really good because they have their quarterback coming back. Well, he broke his wrist really early on in the season again, and rather than, you know, have the surgery and miss the rest of his senior year, he just elected, you know what, quarterback's done, but I can play some linebacker, and he's pulling a Joel Landing, and he's trying to be a senior leader from the defensive side of the ball, and so far that's making a difference because their defense hasn't allowed a whole lot, but that really puts it on Luke Turner, a sophomore quarterback who has been leading the way since then for this team as Javon Willis has now shifted more into a pass receiver role.
Yeah, and we're watching him warm up here, and that's Rickard. That's right. He just wanted to get on the field. It's a senior year. He did play that game against Keokuk last year. He didn't have a really good game. One thing that we were talking about off air that we're a little surprised at is Javon Willis, who played quarterback last year against us and tore us up for, I don't know, 170 yards from the quarterback position, is only rushing this year. Willis does not have a whole lot of yards. He's only got 93 yards rushing the whole year. Now, as out and about before the game, somebody said he just simply does not want to play quarterback because his future is at receiver, which I say phooey on that. You're going to do what's best for your football team. And that, to me, that would have been having him at quarterback. But evidently he didn't. I don't know this, but I heard a rumor that he just wants to play receiver. So we talked about it. He's got 490 some yards as catching the ball. He is 6'4", 225. He's a big target. He's a good target. Oskaloosa will probably have 2 sets of eyes on him all night just in case. But if he was a running back, I think he's got well over 1,000 yards. Or if he was a quarterback, probably 1,300 total yards right now. So
here's my personal thought, and I'm not going to disagree with you, Doug, on this. I agree. You want to do what's best for your football team, but I would argue that this is what's best for the football team, and this is why. Luke Turner has proven that he can be accurate throwing the football, around 60% completion percentage, which is a high number for high school football. They are only throwing it about 12 times per game, so that's not a lot. They are being very selective with how they throw the football. But Willis and Dalton Myers have been by far and away the only real 2 targets that they look to in the passing game when they throw the football. The silver lining on that is they've been very efficient when they've caught the ball. Willis, 25 catches, nearly 500 yards receiving, 19.5 yards per catch, and he's got a team-high 6 touchdowns receiving, whereas Myers, 23 receptions. He doesn't have the big play capability that Willis does, but he has almost 300 yards, about 13 yards per catch, and he has 3 touchdowns as well. And then when they get in the red zone, they look to Sawyer Whistler awful lot. 9 catches, but 4 of those have gone for touchdowns as well. So if you look at what they do, I feel like it'd be a lot easier as a defense to game plan around seeing Willis as your quarterback, knowing I can throw 8 guys in the box, not have to worry about his capability of throwing the football because he's not an accurate passer, but yes, he is a strong runner. I just need to get hats to the football as much as possible. Whereas this way, Luke Turner can find a few different options, and Turner leads them in rushing, averaging over 10 yards a carry as well. Again, we have to give you the disclaimer that both of these teams have played some competition. They've racked up some video game numbers in a 48 30-minute high school football game. But still, 10 yards a carry is really impressive. And then Jack Redlinger, who is the actual running back, no slouch either. 6.5 yards a carry and 6 touchdowns as well. They spread it out an awful lot, but they're able to do that because some of the competition. In the 2 games they've played good competition this season, and I mean good as in the best that they'll see outside of Oskaloosa. That's Mount Pleasant and Solon. There was very little offense to speak of for this team, and that is something that would concern me as a Washington supporter.
Exactly, and that's kind of what I was talking about. They escaped Mount Pleasant on a controversial call.
At home.
At home, 16-14, and I'm talking very controversial. And so that is something that's what I'm talking about. If Oskaloosa can score, they're going to run power. They're going to go right up the middle. Some of these gaudy receiving statistics occur because you do have to send, like you said, guys up in the box even now to stop their run game because they're going to run the ball. But they are going to be choosy, but they're going to go. They go for big fly when they do, probably, because they think you're jamming the box and they're going to try to go over the top on you.
That's one thing that we'll be looking forward to in this game. Javon Willis, by the way, he only does have 93 yards rushing, but a lot of that's come around the goal line. He does have 3 touchdowns on the season rushing, along with his 6 passing. So he is still their chief weapon, although he's not taking the snaps from center. Luke Turner will be the man doing that for the Demons tonight. We'll take another break. We're about 12 minutes away from the opening kickoff as these 2 teams are getting set to decide what will be a playoff berth in Class 3A District 5. That's all coming your way after the break. It's Oskaloosa football against Washington on the No Coast Network.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and the surrounding area. Whether commercial, residential, or acreages, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be Oskaloosa's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
Mahaska County Ag and Rural Development is dedicated to the promotion and improvement of rural economies and to the development of both vision and leadership to enhance the quality of life in all Mahaska County. Recently designated as a home base Iowa community, Mahaska County and the city of Oskaloosa are now welcoming veterans and transitioning service members for career opportunities in the area. This also includes an incentives package created through Mahaska County Ag and Rural Development. For more information on how to support the Home Base Iowa initiative, contact Deanne DeGroot at 641-672-2591.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call Time Out to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-AULD.
Providing high-quality professional eye care with a truly caring staff is what Oskaloosa Vision Center has been doing for more than 30 years. With our state-of-the-art equipment, we can provide comprehensive eye exams, prescription glasses, and contact lenses, as well as medical care like eye infection and disease treatment, emergency eye care, and pre- and post-operative aid. Newborn to adult, we have the experience to meet all your eye care needs. Oskaloosa Vision Center. Come see us today.
Swim Sports is once again open in Oskaloosa. This is Doug DeCock, the new owner of Swims. Along with Doug Swim, we are happy to be open again. Swims has a wide variety of trophies, plaques, and engraving available to Oskaloosa and the surrounding areas. We have an assortment of uniforms, socks, and belts, along with other sporting goods at the store. Swim Sports also provides a full screen printing facility for your screen printing needs. Come check out the new store at 118 A Avenue East in Oskaloosa. The two Dougs would love to see you at Swim Sports.
If you are looking for brand names close to home, then look no further than Penn Central Mall in Oskaloosa. Penn Central Mall has a wide variety of stores for people of all ages. Find the perfect pair of silver or Vigas jeans at Maurice's, get a pair of Oakley sunglasses from the smiling staff at Eye Care Partners, cozy up with Ashley Furniture from Gilworth Furniture, and find that dazzling diamond from Gardner Collier Jewelry. When you're done, grab a bite to eat at Mira Cheeto or the Pizza Ranch. It's all at Penn Central Mall in Oskaloosa. Shop, walk, and enjoy Penn Central Mall.
Oskaloosa football against Washington on the air on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN. We're about 8 minutes away from the opening kickoff. Freshman game ran late. Washington won the freshman game 41-7. And then after the senior night ceremonies, they started the 35-minute clock to get the warm-ups in. So we are a little bit behind what we would expect to be, but we expect this to be a very fun game. We expect some points to be scored, some big stops to be had, and what do you think? I think a fair spread would be a couple of touchdowns at the most, right? I don't see either team blowing each other out on this field tonight.
I don't see that either, and I hope that's not the case. I think we're in for a tight game the whole way.
Well, let's talk about the games we've done so far this year, Doug. 35-7, Pella defeats Oskaloosa. 41-0, Oskaloosa beats Grinnell. 58-14 over Fort Madison. 35-14 over Mount Pleasant. Lost 43-7 to Solon, 54-0, and 56-14.
Yeah, not a lot of drama in those games.
The fourth quarters have not been very interesting for us this season.
Yeah, we're due for a heck of a game here. And it looks like the rain.
It's going to miss us, isn't it?
It might miss us. So it's really a beautiful night here, light breeze.
Washington marching band's out there right now, and I think we're all waiting on the cue for the national anthem, but maybe. I'm not sure. You never know these things on the road. It's very easy because they give us kind of a list of how things are going to be ordered out, but everybody's standing and preparing for it here at Case Field, and we are awaiting it as well. It's just silent. It's kind of odd. What are we supposed to do here?
Well, we're just burning time. We can breathe into the thing here. I'll stand up, and maybe that'll hurry them along.
I feel like they were looking at you the whole time.
Well, I'm not sure what's going on. They got a color guard somewhere?
Well, it's over there. The flag is over there. They have the flag, and they're trying to figure the flag out. I think they got it set up. I guess we'll just keep talking until otherwise. But, yeah, not a lot of drama in the fourth quarter for us this season. I was talking to Nick Eversmeyer, line coach for Oskaloosa, and I said, man, it'll be interesting if we can, have a fourth quarter with some drama, because, last couple of weeks, we've had to, go to story time pretty early in the game. And Nick was just like, yeah, well, I'm hoping for another blowout. So Oskaloosa is going to try to run them off their home field here, and it's going to be tough. This is definitely the best opponent Oski's played since Solon, and they're right up there with Solon and Pella in terms of competition for sure.
And it is in the best interest of both teams to keep this game close. I mean, if you're down 14 late, it's important that you get a touchdown and cut it to 7, because both teams will be in the hunt for that wild card point total.
And a lot of the district's third-place teams who've lost to the first and second-place team, they lost to them by both 17 points each and beat everybody else by 17. So if you can change that positively somehow by losing one of those games by less than 17, that gives you a severe leg up, regardless on what you have that is happening here. For the wild card, which, of course, you're playing with fire because you never know what could happen in any given game in Week 9 as teams are trying to jockey for the kind of position. Everybody still tries to play hard, but sometimes those teams that are out of it kind of check out by Week 9 and start doing some weird things. So that can also mess with how things go as well. So, we were waiting for Washington's football team to get out of the locker room for the national anthem. That makes sense. And Oski isn't out here yet either.
Well, and Oski usually doesn't come out. They wait till the national anthem's played at home.
Well, the band has now come back to attention here. So
is that what you call that?
Yeah, I was in the band actually in
right.
high school and college. They are at attention currently. Nobody's ready to play, but interesting. The timing must have been off with the whole pregame ceremony, messing with everything here.
Yeah,
it's been
starting
a solid 2
late,
minutes.
senior night.
All right, so here we go. Finally, the national anthem here in Washington. Let's go ahead and take a listen in. the national anthem here from Washington and Case Field. It took us a while to get to it, Doug, but we made it. And here we are, about 19 minutes till the top of the 8 o'clock hour, still about 3 minutes away from the opening kickoff. The Oskaloosa Indians, indeed, after the national anthem now are making their way onto the track and onto the field. And, of course, we will be ready to play some football here momentarily. Doug.
You know, Emory, Oskaloosa, I just thinking back about all the games and stuff, and Oskaloosa has played some really big football games down here. I think they won a Southeast 7 Conference Championship with Brett Bierman and Tim Booner and the class, I don't know, 79, 8 or 9 around in there, and they had to go through Washington, and it was a big deal back then. And so Oskaloosa and Washington do have a history, and this is going to be a part of it tonight.
Hopefully a good part of it. Both teams hope that it is a good part of it, but if you are a fan of either of these teams, you're just happy to see a fun game as Washington coming blasting through the Washington Demons sign. Always cool to see how the home teams get themselves onto the field. Everybody does it just a little bit differently. That's why I like coming to a lot of different schools. You know, people ask me, why do you like going and covering Montezuma and covering Linville-Sully and Pekin and all these teams? Everybody just does their own little thing, right? I mean,
yeah,
in a perfect world, you would just be able to see everything.
Well, and it's kind of like the way teams take infield in baseball.
Exactly. And I
drool at that. Look at that. They got, that's pretty neat the way they do that. So it is fun to see some of the different traditions that schools have and what they do. And the Demons run out with the American flag. So it looks like we have the same referees from the game before. Which no, or from the freshman game, which
yes.
I'm going to be honest with you, I don't like that.
Why not?
I just am going to put that out there right away. So we'll see.
Doug DeCock, before a whistle has been blown tonight, has already condemned the referee crew for the evening.
Just the way they walk.
You have any specific one in mind?
There was a lot of personal fouls called against Oskaloosa in that freshman game, and our freshmen aren't that mean of players.
Well, the game did get away a little bit, so maybe there was some frustration. You never know.
Yeah, well, there was. One of them I saw was definitely a personal foul. So, but we'll see. And then one of the referees was high-fiving a player coming off the field, and I don't think that's very professional.
All right, well, take notes. Doug's going to find you in the parking lot.
We'll see if just call a good game here, guys. Let the players decide the game.
I'm going to try my best to call a good game as well with my partner, Doug DeCock. Our entire Oskaloosa video production team is here from OVP program at Oskaloosa High School. Of course, no live video tonight, but we will have an archive video. We're giving you the live audio here on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN. So captains coming out onto the field for both of these teams, and they've already done the official coin toss. That occurred during the pregame ceremonies, as they usually do. It's Ryan Rickard along with Javon Willis. They're out there with Mark Engelken, and finally Tanner Murphy, who's also a very nice ball player.
Emory, Oskaloosa also gets back a couple personnel things. Keegan Butler tonight, and he looked very good in practice. They missed him. He was out with a concussion, but he's a good defensive tackle for them, so that will help them up front. Also, you mentioned Noah Van Veldhuizen back at center. Noah is probably a little bit better blocker. Once in a while struggles on his snaps. That might be something to watch. But we're getting some players back, so those are two guys to kind of watch tonight to see how they perform after being out for a couple weeks.
The honorary captains this week are Jaden Van Rukel and Vincent Ramirez, with the normal 4 captains, Tanner DeCock, Alex DeYoung, Jared Cruz, and Big Biscuits.
Big Biscuit. Big Biscuit and Sparky. Tanner's nickname was Bird growing up, by the way.
Bird?
T-Bird.
T-Bird.
T-Bird. And then there's K-Dog. We got nicknames for them all.
Yeah, those just aren't quite as catchy as Big
Chappie.
Biscuit.
You got Chappie.
Big Biscuit's just...
Big Biscuit's a good one.
That's a good one.
Bob Evans.
That is a good one. He's a talented player, is Blake Van Veldhuizen.
Sparky actually got his name from baseball in that he was our leadoff hitter when we were younger.
Spark plug.
Yeah, spark us, get us going here. And a lot of times he would do that.
What a great baseball player, by the way. And I was talking to Coach Jenkins. I have this theory that his shortstop acumen has helped him as a defensive back on this Oskaloosa team en route to, at this point, tying the career lead in interceptions. Either way, we're ready to play. Blom to kick off as Washington won the toss and elected to receive the opening kickoff. This is a low line drive kick, and it'll go through the end zone for a touchback.
Nice job by Aaron Blom there. That's always good to not even give him a chance to run it back.
To the 20-yard line we go. Washington wearing all black uniforms, black tops, black pants. They have the orange numbers on the front of the back, the black helmets as well. Oski going all white, white tops, white pants with maroon numbers and the maroon stripe on the side with Indians written in white inside the stripe.
So it looks like we got Kenny Satimi starting at one tackle there with Cruz, Van Veldhuizen, and Dykstra along the front line.
Back at quarterback is Luke Turner. A couple of backs with him. He's going to hand it to the deep back. This is Redlinger. Jack Redlinger trying to weave his way forward, and he's going to get about 6 to the 26-yard line, straight up the gut. Washington moving from left to right. The wind is blowing at their back here in this first quarter by, I would say, close to 15 miles per hour. So 2nd and 4 here. Also defensively starting for Oskaloosa is Kraber, Tanner DeCock, and Casey Hill at the linebacker spots. Is this another handoff to Redlinger straight up the gut? Some big physical action happening up and down the field, and not much there. Maybe a gain of a half yard here for Redlinger.
Well, that was interesting, Emery. Washington had 2 guys split way out to the right here. Oskaloosa only, they didn't even split the difference on the coverage there. So if Washington would have ran a go route there, they might have had something.
Well, we'll see. They have 2 backs, 1 to each side, 2 wide receivers to the near side, including Willis split out wide to the right alongside DeYoung. This is going to be a little read option, but nothing there. Good defense for Oskaloosa. Loss of a couple on the keeper by Luke Turner, and that'll bring up a 4th down and a 3 and out here for Washington, and Oskaloosa will quickly get the ball. And as Coach Jenkins likes to tell me every week, we just like to get a quick stop and kind of set the tone on defense, and that's what they appear to have done with the punt coming from Javon Willis.
Well, nice job, right? That's one thing we're looking at is our defensive line, and they handled them up front that series. So good job by the Indians.
Back to punt is Willis. High snap. He's going to step into this one. This one is a nice punt away from Miller. Miller eventually tracks it down about the 27-yard line. Only get it across the 35 to the 36. Javon Willis is a great all-around athlete, but that right there was textbook punting with the wind at your back, angling it away from the return man. A great punt, and with 10:21 left first quarter, Oski gets it for the first time working into the wind, going from right to left. And now we see what Seth Howard has to do with a defense that should challenge him tonight.
Yeah, and I wasn't aware that Javon Willis is their punter. That's something you're going to have to watch later in the game. Him on a fake.
Yep.
He could run it, definitely run it.
And guess who's lining up across from Cole Henry defensively?
Javon Willis.
That is going to be a matchup, a couple of behemoths out here. Wide to the near side. You got 4 wide receivers. It's Miller in the slot to the far side with Chapman out wide. It is Tanner DeCock in the slot along with Henry to the near side with Casey Hill, the lone back, on 1st and 10 from their own 36 for Oskaloosa. And it's going to be a design QB run. Howard tries to break it to the outside. He'll get outside the numbers, keeps his feet, keeps on running, and he's going to chug for, I believe, a 1st down just at the sticks at the 46-yard line. A good 1st down run from Seth Howard.
Excellent job there by Seth Howard, running hard. That's what you want to see. Sometimes Seth gets a little bit happy with his feet. That time he powered through and was able to get 11 yards on 1st down. So good start for the Indians.
4 wide receivers again. Same setup. Oskaloosa's done much better about getting the receivers to come inside the numbers before splitting back out as well. That was a problem the first few weeks of the year. Same exact look. And 1st and 10 from their own 46. It's going to be a fake handoff. It's going to be a little option screen. Howard runs through a tackle across midfield, and he's got another 1st down inside the 45 to the 41-yard line. Excellent work again from Howard.
Well, I'm going to say well-designed play. That's the play I haven't liked all year, is that little it's a little flare screen out to Tanner. But we had numbers on that side, and Howard was able to cut it up because that defender's got to make a choice. Is he going to go out and guard the pass, or is he going to go in? If he comes in, I think Oskaloosa, you'll see them later on, make that little flip pass to Tanner.
They have a little bit of a tighter formation with 2 backs. DeCock functioning as a fullback here, and following him is Hill. Hill going to be wrangled from behind. That's a good tackle in the open field by Mason Letts, one of the many seniors that Washington just trotted out here for senior night tonight.
Yeah, Casey had some daylight there. He was able to get, almost hooked him on his shoulder pads, close to a penalty. It was not a penalty. Good tackle, but Oskaloosa looking good here. Positive yardage, you like that on 1st down.
2nd and 8. Ball spotted at the Washington 39. Oskaloosa the football with 9:15 to go first quarter. 4 wide receivers. This is going to be a fake handoff. This time, Howard again squirts through a first tackle, but it was slowed him up enough to where Willis and company could clean it up after a loss of about 4. And the first man in through the hole was Tanner Murphy, a guy that we looked at the stats. He's a guy that jumps off the page at you defensively.
Yeah, Tanner Murphy's their top defender. He leads the team in tackles, and we got to account for him. He has 39 tackles on the year, 16 solos.
Yeah, the way that they do that, an assist counts as half a tackle. So he's been in on a ton of plays to get to that number of tackles on the year. And that sets up a long 3rd down. It is going to be 3rd and 13. Ball spotted at about the 44-yard line. Empty set. Howard looking to throw. Fires over the middle, and it's between 2 intended
Okay, we got
targets.
a penalty here. We may have a defensive holding.
We'll see. It was Cruz and Miller who were both in the vicinity. It kind of split the difference between them.
Well, it looks like it's going to be on Oskaloosa.
An eligible man downfield, likely to decline, you would think.
So we had an empty backfield. So
Wouldn't you decline this to make it 4th down?
Yeah, probably, yeah. Good job by our line. We had plenty of time. We had a guy open, just the pass was not accurate. I'm not sure why anybody would run down the field when we got an empty backfield.
So that brings up a 4th down, and this is kind of in that weird no man's land, but with a
kick it.
Yeah, I mean, and here comes the personnel change. With 8:31 to go, first quarter. Oskaloosa, a couple of first downs on Howard keepers, but the Washington defense holds. And Willis, jack of all trades, is back to receive the punt as Jaden Van Rukel will look to try to angle it away from him and keep him pinned inside the 20. 4th and long. Van Rukel receives the snap, steps into this one, a high kick into the wind. Willis has no interest in it. It'll bounce and take a bad bounce for Oskaloosa, and eventually it'll be wrangled. That's going to end up being about a 20-yard punt after the bad hop into the wind, no less. So probably if you're Van Rukel, you might want to try to keep the trajectory a little lower to try to cut through that wind there, and then your coverage guy's got to get down there a little quicker to be able to make a play on that because he lost probably 10 yards on the bounce.
Well, the coverage guys were actually in behind the ball, hoping that it was going to kick and roll towards the goal line.
There were a couple guys back there.
And so a bad break for Oskaloosa there. The ball bounces back, and it just hung up in the air.
That's going to be actually ruled a 17-yard punt. Ball spotted at the 27. And Washington's got it about the same spot they had it when they punted it away after their first possession. 2 backs, a couple of wide receivers, and a tight end. This is going to be a little reverse to this near side. Coming around the corner, nothing there. Excellent pursuit and defensive job as Alex Young made his blocker miss, and he was there to try to get Murphy. He was coming in on the reverse. And as he tried to chop his feet, Doug lost his footing.
Yeah, there was 4 Indians over there. We had that well defended. And so far, I know it's early, I like what I see out of our defense.
7:55 to go first quarter. Nothing our score. It's 2nd and 13 after a loss of 3 on first down. 3 wide receivers. This is going to be a fake handoff and a keeper again, but again, not a smart choice by Turner as he waited too long to make a choice, and by the time he kept it himself, he was buried in the backfield by another handful of Indians. And it is a handful.
Yes.
A lot of guys are getting into the backfield.
The defense is looking really good right now. 3rd and 14, and Washington just doesn't seem to have anything going right now on offense.
7.5 to go. 3rd and 14. 4 wide receivers. Make that 5 wide receivers. The snap and an empty set. Here's a little screen tipped at the line of scrimmage and dropped. Willis did get a hand on it, but I think it was Cruz who got his hand up first.
Well, and our defense was right there again. Alex DeYoung was ready to make the hit if he caught the ball. So little slip screen to Javon Willis trying to get him the ball, and the Indians go 3 and out again. Now we need to get a catch here on this punt and just run it straight up the field, and we should have the ball inside Washington territory.
It has kind of shifted a little bit. It's now blowing more right to left from Willis's vantage point.
And that's where he kicked the last one.
Yeah, that's exactly where he kicked the last one. He's going to kick this one. This one
Go
end over end.
Catch it.
Miller does catch it at the 45. Tripped up.
That's
and
all right.
Absolutely blasted.
Good catch by Miller.
The first man down there to trip him up was Cade Porin. And then he was destroyed on the second hit by Colin Murphy, another senior, but a pickup of 7 on the return.
That is a 15 to 20-yard change. Tyler makes a fantastic catch coming and getting the ball and returns it 7 yards. If he doesn't make that catch, that ball probably rolls 15 yards, and Oskaloosa's got the ball at their own 30. Instead, they'll take over at their own 48.
7:10 left here to go in the first quarter, and it is at the 48-yard line in Oskaloosa's territory, and they'll have 4 wide receivers, Cruz and Chapman to the near side, Miller and Henry to the far side. Willis is lined up with Henry again on that far side. That's the matchup Washington wants to make sure Willis is involved in. The high snap, this is about bobbled, ball's loose and picked up.
Oh my goodness.
And running it back for Washington is Cale Hopshite. He makes one-man miss and he's in for a touchdown. And a bad break for Oskaloosa. High snap that bounced off the face mask of Seth Howard. Both he and Casey Hill were kind of juggling it, trying to corral it, and it got away from both of them. As defenders got into the backfield, Hopshite picked it up on a hop and was able to outrun Noah Van Veldhuizen, who made a last-ditch effort to try to tackle him from behind. It'll go to about a 40-yard fumble recovery and return for Hopshite. And that's not how Oskaloosa wanted the first points to be given up. But they'll have the offense right back to try to redeem themselves after the extra point. 6-0, Willis to hold. Hold is down, the kick is on the way, and it is good. And that is the first points of the ball game. 7 minutes on the dot left first quarter. 7-0 on the fumble return by Cale Hopshite. Washington leads at 7-0. Oski will get it back after a quick break here on the No Coast Network.
Look at that mouth. That poor, parched mouth. What'd you eat for lunch? Chalk dust? Did your face storm a sandcastle? You're being awfully quiet. Is that because your mouth feels like the business end of a Dremel saw? Is it because your mouth just wrote a haiku and all 17 syllables were dry heaves? Right now, your mouth could be tongue bathing in the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Instead, it feels like you've been motorboating King Tut's sarcophagus. Show some mercy. Crack open an ice-cold Mountain Dew. You know your mouth wants you to. Do the Dew.
About a 40-yard punt or fumble return, fumble recovery and return by Cale Hopshite. And then the extra point by Anthony Torres gives Washington a 7-0 lead. They've only run 6 offensive plays, not done much of anything offensively, but it's the Oskaloosa offense with a miscue, and Cale Hopshite in the right place at the right time. And you called it, Doug. They are getting penetration up the field against Oskaloosa's offensive line. It's been outside runs by Seth Howard that have proved to be most successful here in the early going. But with 7 minutes left first quarter, plenty of football left to play. The offense has to rectify that mistake now, and you'd like to see them drive right down the field.
Well, there it is. Turnover. We said that's key number one is win the turnover battle, and that is a huge one right there.
Torres on the kick is going to be received by Miles at the 5-yard line. DJ Miles going to the far outside, gets outside the numbers, and he's going to be hit and dropped at about the 24-yard line or around there. And Oski will get it with 6:54 to go first quarter, down 7-0. Now the offense, you got to erase. Brett Dowd has to help his offense erase what just happened. And again, you have a center who hasn't played the last few weeks in Noah Van Veldhuizen, a little bit high on the snap, but you got to catch the football and you got to just recover it.
Yeah, the snap wasn't that, it was high, but we got to catch that ball. And we had Casey going for the ball. I'm not sure if it was off directionally,
right,
but it did not look good right off. Obviously, a touchdown for Washington.
1st and 10 for Oskaloosa at their own 23-yard line is where they mark it. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. This is a high snap, but it's going to be handed off to Hill, and he's going to run hard for about 5 to the 28-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Indians.
You know, it's really a shame that happened because Washington's at about 0 yards after 2 possessions. Oskaloosa's moved the ball and looks like they can handle it, but yet they're down 7-0 on the scoreboard. Reminds me of Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, off to a bad start in that game, including a bad turnover, a pick 6. That put them behind the 8 ball quickly, but they responded well with that. Here's another handoff right up the gut, and a good defensive play up the middle. Trying to locate who did the play there, and that was Mason Letts. They got seniors all over the field, and Letts has been on a couple of big tackles right around the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1 on the play. It's 3rd and 6 at the 27 for Oskaloosa with 4 wide again. Howard and company will look to the sideline here.
And Washington playing much like Pella plays and Solon plays. They are pressing us up on the line of scrimmage. We're going to have to beat somebody off the line of scrimmage and throw one deep.
Here's the snap. Howard looking to throw. Got some time. Throws it up, looking for Cruz. Ball tipped, and there's going to be a flag for pass interference, as it was pretty clear the head never got around on the defender, Mario Tapia. And that's going to be a 15-yarder and an automatic first down for Oskaloosa.
Well, there you go. They're going to call offensive pass interference.
They did. That's interesting.
I mean, I don't know. We don't have a replay here.
No, I mean, you could
in the world?
You could make the argument that he's pushing off to try to get himself space, but the ball hit the defender in the back.
He didn't even turn around.
Yeah, and he never relocated the ball. So if there was contact, he wanted to throw a flag there. I mean, pretty clearly, at least from what we saw there and what we know about football, that typically would have been a defensive pass interference call. But instead, offensive pass interference penalty declined, 4th and 6. But they did open it up. They did try to hit the home run ball, but good coverage after what we saw for Washington with under 6 minutes to go first quarter. Van Rukel on a punt for the Indians. He's going to kick this one away, angling it away from Willis again.
There we
go. Great bounce. An amazing bounce inside the 5 or inside the 25 and inside the 20. How about that? Into the wind by Jaden Van Rukel. And you want to talk about trying to catch a football. Willis probably needed to catch that one as well.
Yeah, that's a 20.
There also is a flag, and we'll have to see what that is.
Here we go.
Typically in the spot of a hold against the receiving team, but you never know.
That would move them inside their 10. It'd be half the distance. I can't tell. It's hard to see from where we're at. Are they inside the 10? Is the ball at the 8?
No, that's about the 17, I believe. Personal foul against Washington. So that's going to be half the distance, though. They're going to be inside the 10 now.
Yep. Well, that'll put them about at the 10-yard line.
So just like that, Oskaloosa able to flip the field position with the wind in their face. And the Washington offense, who hasn't done much in this game, had 7 yards of offense on the first drive, ended up with about -4 yards on the second drive. With 5.5 to go, 5:36.
Okay, you can't let them get loose here. We got them pinned down. Keep playing good defense.
Just past the top of the hour. It is Oskaloosa football against Washington on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN as there's a handoff up the gut to Redlinger. Not much there, and he might have even lost another yard. It should be second and about 11. Ball spotted inside the 10 to the 7-yard line on Washington's own territory. They lead Oskaloosa here 7-0 with 5:20 to go first quarter. Emery Sunger and Doug DeCock with you. And Washington picked up their 7 points on a fumble return and an extra point after a fumbled snap by Seth Howard on a high snap from Noah Van Veldhuizen. 3 wide to the near side. Here's another handoff to Redlinger. Again, not a whole lot. He squirts through past the line of scrimmage this time, and he's going to get across the 10 to about the 11 or 12, and it'll bring up a 3rd and about 8.
So they got him in 3rd and 8. I'd look for Washington to try a deep ball here. Even if it gets picked off, it's like a punt. So that's something, if you're Oskaloosa, you got to be ready.
Blake Van Veldhuizen's helmet popped off during that scrum.
Now you don't like to see that on 3rd and 8.
So he's got to come out of the game, and coming in for him, a guy we haven't seen for a couple of weeks, Keegan Mitz-Butler. But he's back and healthy. We talked about it. There are some guys that were missing during the Fairfield and Keokuk games that are back for this one. They have 3 wide receivers, 2 to the far side. It is Luke Turner, the quarterback, sending a man in motion. It's a snap, looking to throw over the middle, and it's off the hands and now caught. And the man on the catch was Cale Hobscheit, who had the big fumble return. And there was a soft coverage there by Van Rukel and not a lot of depth on the linebacker's part.
Well,
and that's going to be a nice pickup to about the 31.
Yeah, it was. It's a big play for Washington. Van Rukel kind of keeping an eye on Willis over here, flanked way to the right, and tight end was able to get loose in the middle. Good play by the Demons there. And the pass is not pretty. They do not look like they can throw very well.
3 wide receivers to the near side. I believe Willis is now lined up at QB. And he is, and he's looking to throw. Pulls it down. Now he's looking to run. Now he's looking down the field, and he's in trouble. He's going to throw it back across his body. He finds a man. Good job coming back to the football, and that'll be a gain of about 11 to the 42-yard line. On the catch there was Dalton Myers, another senior. So they put Willis in at QB for that play, and maybe he's going to get some run at the quarterback spot after all here tonight. That's just his 3rd pass of the season. He's completed all 3 of them.
Well, good job rolling right and keeping the play alive by Willis.
He's got a man coming in motion again to the near side, and he's going to hand it to him. And again, that's Myers, but nothing there. He's going to lose about 3. So after a pickup of about 11.5, they come with the reverse to Dalton Myers. Nothing there, as mentioned, and he actually loses 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 13 from their own 40, and Turner will re-enter the game.
So Washington changing personnel sets. They they're running Willis a little bit out of Wildcat, and so they come back in with their starting quarterback.
And then Willis goes to the opposite side of the field, and DeYoung, much like Willis does against Henry, follows him to the opposite side.
Oskaloosa a little confused there on defense.
And they threw a little screen pass to Myers.
In the back.
And nice tackle.
How did they not see that? It was right in front of the referee.
And immediately popping back up as Van Veldhuizen is injured. It was a good open field tackle by Van Rukel. And Van Veldhuizen.
Well, I'm not sure what's going on, but that does not look good.
We've seen it about 4 or 5 times on the season.
But this is not, I don't think it's a shoulder. Maybe it is. That's not good for the Indians. We gotta focus here. Big third down and 6. Okay. Well, his shoulder, I think it was his shoulder. I thought maybe the way he was walking, it might have been a knee, and I was like, oh no.
No, I think he was kind of leaning forward. We've said it about 15 times this season. That thing goes in and out at will almost, and he is one tough kid.
We got 2 wide receivers over here. I guess Van Rukel's got coverage on that, but I'd like to see our linebacker come out a little bit, Keaton.
2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. They're going to fake the handoff. Turner keeps it, tries to break it outside. He's got first down yardage. That's the first time he's gotten loose, and he'll be pushed out of bounds across midfield to about the 44 in Oskaloosa territory. I was about to say it was a great tackle by Van Rukel in the open field to prevent the big gain on the previous play, but now they're showing that Turner can run the football, and they are spreading you out with the big threat of the wide receivers well outside the box.
And 2 big third down conversions for Washington on this drive.
Fake handoff again. Turner's going to keep it following the right guard. Cruz got a piece of him, but he's able to keep his feet. He gets inside the 40 to the 37, and it's Van Rukel and DeYoung on the stop. Gain of 6, maybe 7.
So Washington's starting to find their groove a little bit here on offense. The Indians had basically shut them down, and they're starting to find some things that are working here.
Turner is their leading rusher in yardage on the season, averaging 10 yards per carry, so they are not afraid to run with him. They do have 2 wide receivers, including Willis to the far side on 2nd and 3 from the Oskaloosa 37. This is a handoff to Redlinger, trying to split the defense. He does.
Yeah, missed tackle.
And then Kraber rides him down to about the 19-yard line. So another big pickup there. Give him 18 on the run. That's the first time Redlinger has been able to get out. And again, the officials are going to whistle it dead, and timeout is going to be called by Oskaloosa. So with 2:02 to go, Washington with a 7-0 lead, and now into the red zone once again, looking for their second score are the Demons. We'll go ahead and take a quick break and be back with more after this right here on the No Coast Network.
Dreams start early, illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
Back here live in Washington, 2:02 to go, first quarter. Washington a 7-0 lead. Did nothing offensively the first couple of drives, but are moving it now. They did pick up their first score of the game on a 40-yard fumble recovery and return by Cale Hobscheit. Oskaloosa's offense has a couple of first downs on Seth Howard runs, but that's all to speak of as well. Coming out of the timeout, Oskaloosa called their first of 3 here in the half to try to reset the defense. And they have a little Wildcat look of their own. Willis comes in motion. They'll fake the handoff. Redlinger is going to keep it himself, cut it back against the grain, break a tackle, scores through another tackle. What a run. Yeah. And Redlinger into the end zone, an 18-yard touchdown run. And just like that, it's 13-0, and Redlinger showing off his wheels.
Well, that's what's going to happen if you can't tackle. We talked about it before the game in some of the key things, and it was tackling. And we missed a tackle at 3 yards, he gets 18. We missed a tackle at 5 yards, he gets a touchdown. We've got to be able to tackle better than this.
Torres on for the extra point for the Demons. 13-0. Willis on the hold. Low snap. It bounces to him, and he's going to try to run with it. Loses his feet. Now trying to run to the outside.
He's going to get in there.
He's looking to throw it, and is going to be slowed down.
He's still going.
He's trying to bully his way, but Oskaloosa is going to be able to recover and tackle him about a yard and a half shy of the end zone. So a bad snap, rolled it back to Willis, and he did the best he could with it. But that could be a big play because Oskaloosa has not missed an extra point this season. So 13-0 is the score. Washington does have the lead after the touchdown, 1:54 to go in the first quarter. We'll take a quick break and be back with more after this here on the No Coast Network.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
Prototype drive for Washington, and they're able to get their second score of the game. The first came on a fumble recovery and return.
And you don't see that very often against a Jake Jenkins coach defense. What was that, 90 yards?
92.
92-yard drive.
And a couple of big-time third-down conversions as well.
Big time. So give Washington credit. That was an impressive drive, and they put 13 on the board. So the Indians are in dire need of answering here.
The kickoff from Torres is high in the air, but short. Who's going to be? It's going to be Miles at about the 15. He's going to make a man miss, able to get across the 25 to the 27, and that's where he'll end up. And the Oskaloosa offense, after going 3 and out last time, and the time before that, the fumble on the first snap, they'll be looking to do something different here with 1:49 to go first quarter, trailing 13-0. And I mentioned that extra point could loom large. Well, it will only loom large if Oskaloosa's offense start moving the football here.
Yeah, they better get it going here real quick. Otherwise, this is going to get away from them.
This kind of feels a lot like the trip we made at Mount Pleasant, isn't it?
Well, no, because this is a much better football team than Mount Pleasant.
Well,
and
fair enough.
We're in danger zone here, I think.
4 wide receivers for Oskaloosa on 1st and 10 from their own 27. Howard under pressure, runs, fires it deep, looking for Miller, who makes a nice catch. Excellent job adjusting to the football and took advantage of Jacob Hall's coverage. You kind of, again, didn't see the football, and it was led perfectly in the middle. A big gainer for Miller on the Howard throw.
Well, good job by our offensive line. We were actually the only guy that got some penetration. We pushed by. Seth kind of threw it off his back foot, got a lot on it. Miller makes a fantastic catch, but I'd like to see Seth step up in the pocket and drive the ball.
That's a 41-yard pickup, and it's 1st and 10 from the Washington 36. Oski's going to hand it off to Hill. Nice patient wait. He gets a block, and he's in deep into Washington territory. Another first down run, and he's in after a pickup of 15.
Well, maybe
down to the 21.
Maybe they woke up a little bit after that last drive and realized that this is going to be a heck of a game, and they need to get going here now.
1:20 to go first quarter. 4 wide receivers. Howard on 1st and 10 in the gun. Hill next to him, and it's a design run for Howard. Again, breaks the first level, and he's going to cut it upfield, and he's going to be in.
No flags.
A 3-play drive all the way down the field. Give him 73 yards on the drive, 21 yards on the run. And how about that, Doug, for the answer?
Oh, my goodness, what an answer. They picked the phone up there, and they dialed end zone in a hurry. That was impressive right there.
41 yards on the Howard to Miller hookup, 15 yards on the Hill run, 21 and a touchdown on the Howard pickup.
And quite honestly, take away the turnover and missed tackles, and this game is a different story.
Blom on for the extra point. It's up and it's on the way. It is good. And Oskaloosa on the scoreboard. 1:06 to go in the first quarter. A big-time drive and answer by the Indians. They trail it still 13-7, and they'll kick it off after this quick break on the No Coast Network.
We love to help people with their smiles. Petrito Orthodontics of Ottumwa and Oskaloosa is all about creating beautiful smiles and increased self-esteem that lasts a lifetime. We specialize in creating individualized smiles by committing to make each visit a memorable experience. Our office is equipped with state-of-the-art technology to ensure optimum results. For help with your smile, call Petrito Orthodontics.
Oskaloosa, a big-time 73-yard drive on just 3 plays. 41 yards from Howard to Tyler Miller. 15-yard run up the gut by Hill, and then they followed up with another QB draw up the middle. Didn't look like there was much there, Doug, but Howard, very shifty, able to get through the second level, and there was nobody there on a 21-yard touchdown
And
run.
we talked about it the last drive that Oskaloosa needs to stretch the field because Washington is pressing them on the line, and that's exactly what they did on the throw to Miller. We gotta beat them man on man here tonight.
Blom approaching, and he'll kick this one off into the wind. It's going to be a shorter kickoff, and it's going to be received at about the 7-yard line. This, once again, is Dalton Myers coming back across the field. Good job defensively, and it's Snakenberg, the first man in there. No, that was Miller, my mistake. Tyler Miller making a big play on the special team game. Snakenberg helping him out on the stop.
So let's see if our defense can improve their tackling here. That last drive, a couple good plays by Washington on third downs, but it was more so a case in our side of the field of missed tackles. We were there, we just couldn't make the tackle.
58 seconds left in the first quarter, 13-7, Washington the lead in the football, and they're coming off of a very impressive drive. 2 wide receivers to the near side, 2 backs, 1 wide receiver to the far side. They send Myers in motion, but they're going to run against that motion with Redlinger to this near side. He makes a jump cut, keeps his feet. Man, he's got some good balance, and Hill on the tackle.
Another missed tackle. Got to keep your head up and drive through their thighs, and we're looking down. We're not tackling very well at all. Another missed tackle and another 8 yards after the missed tackle.
So another first down here on the run by Redlinger, who they seem to be willing to rely on. 2 wide receivers far side. Myers again in motion with 2 backs, and this is going to be a fake to Redlinger, but following Redlinger is the quarterback, and there's not much there.
Okay, we might get a holding here on Washington, which is from the spot of the foul, which would be behind the line of scrimmage.
Luke Turner kept it, and usually you'll run against where the fake was, but he just followed the back to that outside. They will get the hold on Washington, and it will be from the spot, which I believe is a couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up a 1st and 22.
Well, they got by with one of those blocks earlier in the game, and the officials caught that one, and so a big penalty against Washington, and Oskaloosa now has them pinned deep.
This is going to be a task, to say the least, to try to pick up the yardage, but they have gotten chunks the last couple of drives.
And this long distance has been a trouble for Oskaloosa. They seem to relax or just don't go at it quite as hard here.
20 seconds left. This could be the last play of the quarter. This is Redlinger straight up the gut. Man, he's got some good moves. He's going to be across the 35 to about the 40 before Tanner DeCock and Jada Van Rukel make the...
Yeah, and those guys better strap it on because he's running all over us right now, and they better get going here.
Pickup of about 16 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6, but we won't have that happen until the beginning of the second quarter. So after 1 quarter of play, some big plays making a difference for both teams. But at the end of it, it's 13-7 Washington. We'll take a short break and be back with the second quarter after this on the No Coast Network.
Plow Valve Company of Oskaloosa is very proud of all area students involved in any school activities. They know that being involved takes dedication and hard work put forth by each student. Plow Valve Company reminds you to support our area students in the various activities that they're involved in. School activities are important in molding young people into healthy, successful adults, as they are an important part of a good community. Congratulations to all area students from Plow Valve Company in Oskaloosa.
Kevin, meet your father.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin. Kevin. Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin. Kevin.
Kevin.
Trusted advice for life.
Kevin, how's your mom?
Thank you.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
Starting the second quarter, Washington with Redlinger out of the Wildcat takes the snap, and he's trying to burrow his way through the Oskaloosa defense, and he gets about the 5 yards he needed for the first down yardage, and it looks like they are going to give it to him.
Yeah, he had good penetration up the middle. Somehow Redlinger got through that and was able to just burrow his way for another 6 yards. So the Oskaloosa defense right now is very disappointing. They're getting run over, actually, and run through by the Washington ball carriers.
Redlinger walks off the field.
It's not necessarily their line that's dominating us. It's their running back.
They got 3 wide receivers, 2 to the near side. They send Myers in motion, coming back toward the quarterback, who hands it off. And this is the new back, Tristan Westfall Edwards. And he's going to get about 1.5 yards before he's tripped up. Good tackling by Oskaloosa. I believe that was Keaton DeCock on the stop with 13-7 the score. After 1 quarter of play, some big plays for both sides. Redlinger did kind of gingerly walk off the field, and he's kind of crouched down here on the sideline. So Westfall Edwards is going to get those carries now.
Well, and Washington's trying to run a lot of counter stuff to the backside.
And they're going to throw it to Willis on a screen this time, and he's going to try to cut it up. Myers is actually getting in his way, trying to throw a lead block, and he's only going to gain about 3.5.
No, we're going to get a personal foul on Oskaloosa. An absolutely stupid play right there.
Well, Willis having some words, I believe it was with Van Rukel, after the play was over. We'll see. It's dead ball, personal foul on Oskaloosa.
Jeez. I just knew this was going to happen tonight, and I don't think it's a bad call. We gave him a little bit of the business after we tackled him. It's just stupid right now. We knew coming into this game it was going to be emotional. You got to keep your emotions in check. Huge penalty against Oskaloosa.
11 minutes to go, second quarter.
Man.
13-7, that's 15 after the play. It would have been 3rd and about 4. Instead, it is 1st and 10. Ball spotted at the 34-yard line. Redlinger now standing with his helmet off on the sideline. So that at least is working in Oskaloosa's favor, as it's still Westfall Edwards, the back. 4 wide receivers now. They'll fake the handoff. And here's Turner trying to get outside right tackle. Is able to get forward. I mean, he's a good runner. I mean, the numbers support him being a solid runner. He's got about 9.5, maybe right on that line at 10 yards.
Faked the count. They faked a little counter action, and he just held on to the ball. And there was that time the line did do a good job walling the Oski defense
and
off.
Westfall Edwards is not the running threat that Redlinger is, so maybe you just key on Turner when he's back there. They will fake it again, and this time a good job up the middle, although I believe it close to a 1st down yardage.
Well, they had him for about a 2-yard loss, and he gets through there. It's just we cannot tackle tonight.
He's going to say no gain on the play.
Okay, Willis is probably going to come in a little wildcat. Well, Redlinger's back in there too.
Redlinger just came back into the game, yes. Willis is going to go outside wide to the right, and it's going to be Redlinger, you would imagine, taking the snap.
You would think, and they're going to run right up the middle, is my guess.
Redlinger is lined up behind the center in the shotgun with a couple of fullbacks next to him. 3.5 yard. He's going to kind of wait for a hole to open, and it does open, and he gets away, and he puts his hand right on the helmet of Calvin Silvers to keep him at bay and runs all the way for a touchdown. What an outstanding run by Jack Redlinger. He missed about 6 plays there, and his helmet was off. And then as soon as he gets back into the game, he runs through the line of scrimmage and just stiff arms Calvin Silvers, who was the last chance for Oskaloosa to make the tackle.
Well, once again, we were standing right there with him. We just can't make a tackle. This is, I don't know how else to put it. This is absolutely pathetic tackling by the Oskaloosa defense tonight.
Trying to go for 2 now after they missed the try on a bad snap last time. Redlinger again in, and he drops the snap. Ball's loose, and he's not going to get it again. So they have handed Oskaloosa 2 points, basically, on failed conversions on fumbled snaps. So,
well, now you start chasing after them, and then you let Oskaloosa kick a field goal.
That'll change everything.
Yeah.
19-7 all of a sudden. They have scored 3 touchdowns, but we'll take a quick break. 9.5 to go, second quarter. Oskaloosa needs an answer after we return after a quick break on the No Coast Network.
Experience the Bruxforts difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
Washington has scored on their last 2 drives. Jack Redlinger proving to be quite the weapon as well. Javon Willis has only touched the ball once offensively for the Demons, but Luke Turner, the sophomore quarterback, along with Redlinger, the senior running back, they've been making some waves.
The running backs for Washington, the ball carriers, are just making us look silly on defense. And I don't know. You know, we're going to have to dig deep down inside and figure out a way to get these guys down. It looks like our offense is able to move the ball, so we should be able to score some.
Torres on the kickoff.
Good kick.
Yeah, it's going to be Miller inside the 5, and he's going to bring it back out, of course. He gets a little block, a little wrinkle, spins off of another tackle, and he's going to fall forward to about the 31-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 Oskaloosa after a nice return by Tyler Miller, who has been a game breaker so far in this one. 9:29 to go in the second. 19-7. Washington with the advantage, and the Oskaloosa offense back to work after what was a very impressive 3-play drive last time they were out there.
Well, they got to do it again, and things certainly are getting chippy. I was watching the outside there. 2 guys were kind of going at it, so we've got to keep our composure here and not get any more of those big 15-yard penalties.
1st and 10, Oskaloosa's got it, and they'll spot it at that 31-yard line. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Howard's got Hill next to him. In the shotgun, he takes a snap, design run for him again. He puts his hand on his blockers, trying to fall forward. He gets 3 to the 34-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Well, once again, after the play, Tucker Irwin, we've got to be smart on this. I'd like to see Seth put his head down a little bit instead of standing straight up going through the hole and get what you can. You can get an extra 2 or 3 yards on those type plays.
It is 2nd and 7. At the 34-yard line, 9 minutes to go in the second. Oski down 19-7. 4 wide, 2 by 2. The snap is a high one, and Howard makes a man miss, and he's up the field. He's got first down yardage, turning it up to cross the 40 to the 45, still trying to run, and he's going to be tackled at the 48-yard line. How's that?
Well, that's better. That was a nice hard run. Once again, the snap was that was almost the exact same thing that happened before. Casey Hill started to go for the snap, and Seth luckily caught this one and made a good gain out of it.
Yeah, he made a great move, sticking his foot in and cutting it up the field. He takes the snap on 1st and 10 from the 48, looking downfield now, throws it for Henry. And Willis nearly made an interception.
Oh, man, throwing off his back foot across the field against Javon Willis is not something you want to do. Now, we may have a defensive penalty here.
Henry and Willis were right next to each other.
Or else they're going to call ineligible receiver again?
Well, it was a quick release, but Howard's first read was not open, so he didn't know what to do with it, kind of threw off his back foot, and then they're going to erase the flag. So it'll be 2nd and 10.
That is not a play that you want. You do not want to throw the ball across the field off your back foot. Yeah.
Try to run it or swallow it, because that, I mean, not only is that interception potential, but that's pick 6 potential. Because there's nobody there to make a tackle if Willis picks that off on the run. 4 wide receivers on 2nd and 10 now. It is Henry out wide, of course, marked by Javon Willis, who's been following him around. Chapman is in the slot. Cruz is on the far side with Miller in the slot on the far side with the lone back Casey Hill. Howard in the shotgun, takes a snap, looks to throw, and he's got Cruz open across midfield. He's going to be right past the marker, appears.
Beautiful play. Nice throw. Seth just about dropped the snap. A good snap, but he about dropped it, and then he made a really nice quick throw out to Cruz, and he turns it upfield.
Gain of 11. And it'll be a first down at the 41 in Washington territory. 8:27 left second quarter, 19-7. Oskaloosa trailing, but moving the football. Again, 4 wide. It's another high snap. Handoff Hill right up the gut. And he's inside the 35, inside the 30, down to about the 28-yard line, and move those chains once again.
Well, it certainly looks like we're going to be able to score. I did not expect this type of game tonight. It looks like we could be in for a shootout the way both defenses are playing.
They're actually going to mark him at the 30, so it'll be a gain of 11. And still will move the chains. Oskaloosa, it's been on the ground for the most part too, Doug.
Well, those snaps are scary, though. They're up there high, and Casey puts his hands up and then gets the ball from Seth.
1st and 10. This is going to be a design QB run. Not a lot there, and a good tackle in the backfield by Tristan Westfall-Edwards.
You could see that play was not going to work from right off the bat.
Westfall-Edwards, great wrestler. I mean, he has been a state caliber wrestler both his freshman and sophomore years, and he is using that strength and discipline that he uses in the wrestling room to come back out here on the football field and make some difference as a linebacker, albeit a little undersized.
I think I'd look to go back to Cruz on that little hitch route.
2nd and about 12 after a loss of 2. The snap, this is going to be a handoff to Hill. Again up the gut. He finds a little bit of a crease, and he's going to get about 4, maybe 5. Losing his helmet on the play with Sam Hall, the junior
A lot of talking by the players. He lost his helmet, and he's probably saying that the offensive lineman or somebody ripped it off. But there's a lot of jabbering going on to the officials and between the teams. We kind of expected this. Oskaloosa in a 3rd down 7. They're at the 29. They are in field goal range from what we saw in warm-ups.
And the wind at the back.
Yes.
3rd and we'll call it 8 from the 28. Howard looking to throw. He's got time, fires it deep.
That's interference, big time.
And there's flags all over the place as Tanner DeCock was working on the one-armed Ryan Rickard. And we've talked about him in the open a little bit, but Rickard took one for the team and said, instead of getting surgery to fix my arm, I want to play defense and just be a part of this football team my senior year. That time never relocated the football, and that should be 15 yards against Washington as DeCock just absolutely had no chance to get back to the football.
Well, what they're doing, Emory, is they're playing that press coverage, so you're always chasing. If you just throw the ball up, you're chasing your guy down the field. That's why we just got to keep stretching the field on him. That's going to open up our running game even more.
Pretty easy call there for everybody in attendance, as the first thing, there was a lot of contact. Second of all, he wasn't looking at the football. And the third thing was that it wasn't exactly the lightest of contact. It actually knocked DeCock backwards as he was trying to come back to the football. So with all those things considered, it's a 15-yard penalty, and it's going to bring the ball inside the 20 to about the 14-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from there for Oskaloosa. 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side.
Now, if you're on offense and he throws it up to you and that guy does turn around, you got to play defense then and knock the ball away or go for it.
It is Howard in the gun, Miller next to him. He's going to keep it and follow Miller through the hole. Again, gets through the first wave of tacklers, and he is running well as Seth Howard, and he's going to be near a 1st down inside the 5 to the 4.
Yeah, the Oskaloosa offense answering the bell again. This is, this game is 19-7, and they keep grinding away. And they're going to have first and goal here. So let's punch this in, kick the extra point, and be thankful where we're at.
6:35 and counting here in this second quarter. 3 wide to the far side. They'll send a man in motion. It's DeCock. He is the fullback. He's going to hand it off, is Howard, to Miller. He's going to try to race to the outside, turn it upfield, inside the 5.
Uh-oh.
And there's a flag right as he crosses the goal line.
That's a big one. That's going to be on Oskaloosa.
That was a touchdown. A 4-yard touchdown run by Miller, but a flag at the end of the play, and the umpire is talking to the referee with the call, and Oskaloosa not celebrating. Yeah. Doug, I believe you're right.
Absolutely. What I talked about in the beginning, the hold or whatever the play was completely away from where the ball was going. It's just careless. Oh, wow.
It's a personal foul in Washington.
I take it all back. There was a bunch of scuffling going on there. Somebody must have thrown a punch or did something, but I thought they were going to get us on the backside on that holding play. So my bad, totally wrong by me.
Yeah, and they're going to enforce the 15-yarder on the kickoff. And that'll make it easier for Blom to boot it right through the end zone or do one of those interesting gimmick kicks.
Yeah, I'm surprised, Emory. You know how many times those calls go against us.
Well, I was right there with you. I didn't see anything outside of what would have been a hold on the backside. Blom on for the extra point. Howard the hold. The kick is up, and it is good. 6:24 left, second quarter, and Oskaloosa within 5, 19-14. With still plenty of time left in the first half. We'll take a quick break and be back with the kickoff after this on the No Coast Network.
At Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, we're proud to keep the Oskaloosa Indians and their fans safe and feeling good on and off the field. Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy is the expert in injury care, orthopedics, and sports rehab, with a new facility in Oskaloosa, complete with an open gym area in addition to several private treatment rooms. If pain is bugging you, come see the experts at Kinetic Edge for a free injury screen. Find out more, including why the Oskaloosa Indians trust Kinetic Edge, at kineticedgept.com.
6:24 left, second quarter here in Washington, and Oskaloosa has done it again. A great answer as they are now within 5, 19-14. Those missed attempts, the bad snap on the PAT and then the dropped snap by Redlinger on the 2-point conversion the last couple of times after the touchdown for Washington loom large. And Oskaloosa's defense, as we were talking in the break, one stop away from really kind of getting control of this game before the half.
Well, and it's tackling. I mean, if we can just tackle, then we can put them, we can stop them. We've been there. We just cannot make the tackles. Now, Oskaloosa is going to kick it off from the Washington 45. I know he can kick it through the end zone, but do you try to squib kick it?
Do you try to just,
and pin him inside the 20?
I don't know. We'll see what they do. Wendy's at his back, a little bit from right to left in his vantage point. It is 19-14 with 6:24 left in the first half. And Blom approaches, and he will just boot it straight through the end zone. They're not going to mess around with a big play. Or kicking it out of bounds. They're just going to put it at the 20 and see what happens from there. And that's what will happen. 19-14. The Indians down by 5. As mentioned, basically just one defensive stop away from grabbing this game by the horns, because the offense the last couple of times have moved it very well.
Yeah, they have. And they've got us on our heels a little bit. But as I've said all night, if we can just tackle, we'll be fine, I think. Our offense, it looks like it's not going to be stopped unless it stops themselves.
Willis is split out wide to the far side. It's Turner, the quarterback, and Westfall Edwards lines up as the running back with Redlinger on the bench. They send Hopshide in motion. Turner from his own 20 takes a snap. He'll hand it off to Westfall Edwards, and he's got a little bit of space. I think I said it, and that's my bad. I said it on the last drive. Westfall Edwards in the game. Why wouldn't you just key on Turner? Well, they did, and Westfall Edwards had a little bit of an edge, and he gains 9.
Yeah, Westfall Edwards looks a little quicker than Redlinger. Redlinger's powerful, but he's got some good moves. But Westfall, he's got some quickness through the hole there.
Tristan Westfall Edwards, as mentioned, freshman and sophomore years, qualified for the state wrestling tournament, so he is an athlete. Second in about a half yard. Turner takes the snap. He'll hand it. Westfall Edwards dropped the football.
Oskaloosa's got it. Blakeman Velheisen's on the ball, I think.
Westfall Edwards just dropped the football, and Oski's got it inside the 30-yard line.
Oh, a huge break back to Oskaloosa here.
The Oskaloosa Indians are running back, and Big Biscuits picks up the football, points it that way, and it is going to be Oskaloosa 1st and 10 from the Washington 28, and the fumble return touchdown could have just been paid back to the Indians.
So, yes, thank you. Now we're 1-1. Let's see what we can do with the turnover. If we capitalize like Washington did on the turnover, Oskaloosa could jump in ahead here before the half.
Still 5:48 to go. Well, Westfall Edwards giveth, and Westfall Edwards taketh away.
Big break there.
1st and 10, 4 wide for Oskaloosa. It's Chapman out wide with Miller in the slot to the near side. Henry and DeCock to the far side. Hill is the back. Howard looking to throw. Fires it deep, looking for Chapman.
Oh, he had some space, but they're doing exactly what they need to. They're taking big shots down the field. Chapman separated a little bit, but like I talked about, they're constantly going to be chasing on those plays. If the ball's underthrown, they're going to run into us.
It'll be 2nd and 10. I like taking a shot after the turnover there, too.
Yeah, Bobby Bowden.
Just might as well, right? You're playing with house money. 5:43 to go. 2nd and 10 now for Oskaloosa at the 28 in Washington territory. It's Howard going to run it, and he is met immediately. That's a great play by senior Tanner Murphy. Yep. Loss of 1 on the play.
Good tackle there by Murphy. So Oskaloosa is at the 32.
Yeah, they actually mark off 3 yards on him, so it'll be 3rd and 13.
You're looking at a 49-yard field goal if they do not gain any yards here. Blom did hit a 52-yarder going this way in warm-up, so I don't know if Oski would try it or not.
I think they would try it, because even if he misses, it's only to the 20-yard line. Howard takes a snap on 3rd and long. He's got some time. He's going to throw it deep again.
Wide open! He's wide open! Touchdown, Indians!
Touchdown, Oskaloosa! 31 yards!
All right, way to take a shot. Nice throw by Howard, standing in the pocket, and all of a sudden the Indians take the lead.
Wheel route out of the slot from Miller, and just a complete busted coverage from Washington. Nobody within 20 yards of him. Howard able to put it right in his lap, and he waltzes in for the rest of the way for an Oskaloosa touchdown, and it's 20-19 with Blom to attempt the extra point. Still 5:05 to go here.
Wow,
in the first
Merry
half.
Christmas to the Indians. A turnover and a busted coverage, and that's 7 points.
Blom's extra point kick is good, and Oskaloosa a 21-19 lead with 5:05 to go here in the first half. We'll take a quick break and be back with the kickoff. Indians out front here on the No Coast Network.
You built a castle. so that the prince and princess can live happily ever after. You brought the sunshine to shine upon the whole family's future. But when the sun hides behind the clouds, State Farm can help. We put the life back in life insurance to protect your family's finances, not only in the future, but today.
Call your State Farm agent Kelly Style in Oskaloosa today.
Well, tables have turned the last few minutes of ball game. Oskaloosa offense is driven down and scored a couple of touchdowns the last 2 times they've had it. And then after a fumble, the offense picks it up with a short field, just 28 yards to gain, and on 3rd and 13, a busted coverage from Washington, and Tyler Miller makes another big play. He had a 41-yard catch to get the first scoring drive going, and Oskaloosa's offense has moved the ball efficiently in this one. They did have 1 3-and-out, and then the fumble, but other than that, the offense has at least gotten 2 first downs on each drive, and then they've scored the last 3 times they've had it. They have a 21-19 lead here with still 5:05 to go in the second.
Yeah, and Washington's committed to stopping those short passes, and Oskaloosa doing the smart thing. Good job by Coach Dowd. They're taking long shots, and it's paying off.
Blom approaches for the kick, and he boots this one high and deep and in through the end zone again. For another
you gotta
touchback.
love that. No threat to return one. So big series, I think, for Washington's offense, because their defense has not shown the ability to stop Oskaloosa. And if Oskaloosa's defense can rise up with a little bit of tackling here, they should have a little bounce in their step after that offensive performance, and they got a 2-point lead right now.
By the way, Aaron Blom, 38 for 39 in PAT attempts, and Coach Jenkins said that he had tied the record going into this week for 29 consecutive PATs made. So he's broken that record, and I'm sure the touchback record, if he's not broken that already, he is putting that one in danger. As Washington, 1st and 10 from their own 20, trips to the far side. They're going to throw Willis a little screen outside. He's going to be slowed down and stopped immediately.
Tackle him. They're sitting there holding him up. They need to drive through him so he doesn't get away. We're not being aggressive through the ball carrier.
Going to be a pickup, they're going to say, about a half yard after everything is said and done. And it'll be 2nd and 9 from the 21 for the Washington offense. They still have all 3 of their timeouts and 4.5 minutes to work with.
Oskaloosa rolls over. Alex DeYoung and Jaden Van Rukel are shadowing Willis, trying to just take him out of the passing game.
Well, they have 3 other wide receivers to the other side.
Sparky taking away the slant route.
Here is the snap. They're going to throw a little screen to the back. I don't think he was ready for it. It was Redlinger, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
He's going to lose a couple, isn't he?
He was trying to dive back to the line. We'll see where they mark it.
Not a pretty looking play by Washington. So here's a huge 3rd down for the Oskaloosa defense.
Redlinger didn't even seem like he was expecting the
football. I thought
football.
it was a double pass when I went the way he flared out, and it was a lateral back, and I thought it was going to be a double pass.
No gain on the play, and it'll be 3rd and about 9 from the 21. 3:45 to go, and they'll have 2 wide receivers to each side now with Turner in the gun. Turner sends a man in motion. Here's the snap. He's going to fake a handoff, throw it over the middle, knocked away by Cole Kraber.
Nice play by Cole Kraber. Excellent job. And I'm going to give, they're going to call, wait a minute. We got a personal foul on Washington here, I think. Against Oskaloosa. No.
Yeah,
against Washington. Holy cow, what is going on here? So now Washington's starting to implode a little bit. That's after the play, I think, so that's a dead ball. It'll be 4th down, and they'll mark the penalty off.
Correct. So it was an incomplete pass. They set up the screen to Hobscheit out of the slot, and Kraber, who was man-to-man with him, right where he needed to be, made the play on the ball and knocked it away.
Excellent play by Kraber there. And kudos to the referees. Once again, a lot of times you'll see a flag called on that just because it looks like interference, even though it isn't.
Yeah, he was just in good position, saw the football, and put his hand in the way. Didn't do anything illegal, and it's going to be 4th and long after the penalty. Ball spotted at about the 11-yard line after the half the distance to the goal. Willis to punt. Into the wind. High punt.
Good punt.
Fair catch. And the ball is muffed by Miller. He's going to try to jump back on it, and he does.
That's okay. That's all right. Oskaloosa is going to have the ball in Washington territory.
43-yard line with 3:26 to go and 2 timeouts. So time not necessarily a factor for the Oskaloosa offense. If they can score one more time here, that is going to give you some level of rush going into the locker room.
Yeah, and I think Oskaloosa kind of looked like they had more pressure than usual on the punter that time, and Miller he signaled for a fair catch, which is exactly what you should do if you're going for a block. So good job by Tyler there catching the ball. So another penalty against Washington, unsportsmanlike. So the Demons are falling apart here as the Indians are putting some pressure on.
Unbelievable stuff happening here in this ball game. If you are an Oskaloosa supporter, most of them are happening within your favor. So it looks like Washington's, they have taken a timeout, and we'll keep it here. But if you're an Oskaloosa supporter and you saw the beginning of this game, and I mean the beginning is in like the fumble recovery and then Washington going straight down the field and scoring, going up 13-0, just like that, we have ourselves a 21-19 game, Oskaloosa the lead, and then a couple of 15-yard penalties on Washington here. You want to talk about imploding at the wrong time of the game.
And we talked about, is that 4 personal fouls or unsportsmanlike in this game, and we knew that was going to happen.
And then throw in pass interferences as well on both teams.
And they're getting, you can tell that by Washington's body language, they are frustrated down here. They kind of thought they had control of the game, and this thing, they could go down for 9 points here at halftime, and this would really go a long way to sending Oskaloosa on their way.
If you were tuning in to KMZN, we apologize for any technical difficulties. We should be back up and running, and with 21-19 our score, Oskaloosa the lead. A handoff to Hill. He's coming out right tackle, and he's got some space inside the 20. He's going to get to the 15, and he's going to be tackled. A touchdown-saving tackle by Mario Tapia. And the word on the street is that Tapia is potentially a Division I type player.
Well, I don't know. I just saw him make a tackle, but, you know, I don't know about that, but
the coaches said that he's an important player, but they actually went after him on the Miller touchdown on his side of the field.
Nice run. Oskaloosa looks really confident on offense. The linemen got some bounce in their step.
Hill running hard.
They are wanting to go at it here.
1st and 10 after the big pickup to the 14-yard line, and there's going to be another handoff to Hill.
That play.
Howard just needs to make a choice there.
Well, that play was Hill taking the snap in front of Howard going across is what it looked like to me.
Well, I think it was a read option, and Howard just rode with him too long there.
I don't know, but it did not look good from the start.
Loss of 3 on the play, 2nd and 13 from the 17 now. Inside the red zone, Oskaloosa trying to punch it in with 2.5 to go still in this second quarter. Howard takes a snap, looking to throw, looking deep, looking toward the end zone for Miller.
Oh, they got another foul on him.
We'll see who's
That's what I'm telling you. They're going to press up there. They're going to be in trouble.
We'll see who it is, though, because I think Miller also had a straight arm as that ball was approaching.
It went against Oskaloosa.
The coverage was out there by Jamison Bell, another senior.
That's a big penalty. It's going to take Oskaloosa out of field goal range, even though it's only 2nd down, if they take the penalty.
And Bell was the guy who got mixed up on the coverage on the touchdown. So it was the exact same play, but he did not get loose, did Miller out of the slot that time.
Both teams making mistake after mistake right now.
It will still be 2nd down.
It's going to be a long ways.
It'll be 15 yards from the previous spot.
Well, this is not what you wanted to see if you're Oskaloosa's offense. You had a long run from Hill. You had them on their heels, and then you have a messed up handoff, and now a penalty.
Trying to get the down marker to change to 2nd down, and they do. 2nd and 26-ish is what they have on the scoreboard. 32-yard line in Washington territory. Oskaloosa still has 4 wide, 2 to each side. Hill the lone back.
You might see us take a shot at Chapman here on the outside. Washington's still pressing with this big a yardage. To me, is a tactical error.
2nd and long. The snap. Howard drops back under pressure, throws it over the middle, and it's short as he it almost set up for a screen there as fast as Washington penetrated through the line, but there was nobody there to throw a screen to.
Yeah, and Seth's throwing off his back foot. Going back, it did look like a screen, kind of a backpedaling screen motion from the quarterback, and just couldn't get enough on it. And Washington had that play covered.
And timeout's going to be called. I think Oski's going to want to talk this over and what they want to do. Maybe they just try to get a chunk of yardage here instead of getting it all back to try to set up Blum for what could be a field goal with 2:23 to go in the first half, and we'll keep it here. This game has changed quite a bit from where it was a quarter ago, Doug.
Well, and Oskaloosa's in a timeout. I think what you're going to see here is Oskaloosa run a screenplay. I just got a feeling that this is a pretty good place to do it. If you can, it's fairly safe play. If you can get 5 to 10 yards, you're in field goal range. You can kick the field goal. And if you catch them blitzing, you could take it to the house right here on a screen.
Well, we'll see. It looked like they were kind of drawing one up, but they couldn't get either Hill loose or somebody made a bad move. A wrong route down the field. Either way, it brings up a 3rd and what will be a 26 yards to gain. They have to get it to about the 5-yard line. They are currently positioned at the 32 in Washington territory. And 3 wide receivers will come out to the near side. Miller, Chapman, and DeCock with Henry by himself against Willis on the far side. Hill in the backfield. Here's the snap. Howard looking to throw, looking deep. Now he steps up. There's no room for him to go.
No.
Throw it off his back foot deep. And off the hands of Willis, a dangerous throw, as you talked about. And now this is 49 yards.
Well, they're bringing Blum out.
It's a 49-yard kick. We said 52 is where he was able to make it with the wind at his back, and it's a solid wind at his back right now. But even if he misses it, high school rules, Doug, it doesn't hurt you that much, because if it goes through the uprights or if it goes past the line or the goal line and is not returned, then it's just a touchback.
Yeah, and he made it from 52, so this is going to be a 49-yarder.
Right down the middle of the field as well. Blum, the hold from Howard. Blum's kick is on the way, and it's a little short to the left. So it is no good. He's 1 for 6 in field goals, and Coach Jenkins said he felt bad for him because they were throwing him out there in long field goal situations.
Yeah, he just missed that one, too.
It had a little more push to it than I thought it did off the foot, but a little bit wide to the left. But what's interesting is because of the high school rules, as long as you have a kicker who can get it there, it doesn't really matter if he's accurate, because your punt team's not going to do much better than he's going to be able to do, since they just put it at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and he can make it from there, like we said. We saw him do it, and that missed by, from here, it looked like a yard.
Yeah, it wasn't very much.
And so Oskaloosa unable to capitalize on the turnover. Big stand by the Washington defense.
It'll be 1st and 10 here. Turner's going to hand it off. This is a bully run up the gut by Redlinger. And he's going to get to the 26 or so. It's going to be a gain of about 6. And it'll be 2nd down. 2 timeouts remaining for Washington. And they're going to try to quicken the pace here and try to get points before the end of the half, trailing 21-19, 150 to go.
They're still going to just run it, though.
Here's Redlinger again, and he's going to turn it up and get within a yard of the 1st down. Tackled by Tanner DeCock and Van Veldhuizen. It'll be 3rd and a half yard here, and the clock's still ticking. They're going with some tempo here, but they also seem like they're not. They just want to make sure that Oski doesn't get it back.
They're not a throwing team, so this is not a situation that.
Redlinger is going to go off right guard. He's got the 1st down. Kraber will bring him down at the 35-yard line.
Man, there is a lot of stuff going on after the whistles here. Drive blocked by the Washington guy late there, but Oskaloosa may need to call timeout on defense here and get their wits about them.
1:10 to go now in the 2nd quarter. This is going to be a read option. Turner keeps it and is going to be brought down after a pickup of 4 by Tanner DeCock, and timeout Washington. They'll use the first of the 2 they have left with 1:06 to go in the first half. Oski with the lead, 21-19, but Washington looking for late half points with just over a minute to play. We'll take a quick break and be back after the timeout on the No Coast Network.
For over 30 years, Pella Printing has been leading the way in the print industry with quality equipment, modern facilities, and skilled staff. The Pella approach combines old-world craftsmanship with today's cutting-edge technology to provide brilliant printed products at a value price. They take the time to understand clients' needs from design to pre-press to printing and delivery to build lasting relationships with their customers. Whether you need personalized graduation announcements, oversized posters and banners, marketing materials, or stationery, Pella Printing offers a broad assortment of quality printed products done with speed and precision. Pella Printing, where technology and craftsmanship meet.
Washington calls the first of 2 timeouts they have left in this first half, and they trail Oskaloosa 21-19 after having a 19-7 lead. However, with 1:06 to go, they have the football and a 2nd and 6 at their own 39.
We got 2 guys out here.
Oskaloosa trying to make it.
We got 2 guys out here. They're running a go route. We're confused on defense. Luckily, we got into position.
2 wide receivers to the near side. It's going to be Turner looking to throw, fires over the middle, and a jump ball. It's caught over the head of DeCock. And I'm trying to see who made the catch, and that was Redlinger.
Yeah, it was good coverage by Tanner. Yeah. Redlinger just went over him and took the ball away.
I don't know what else you can do in that situation. And that's a nice pick of about 20. The ball's going to be spotted down around the 38-yard line in Oskaloosa territory inside of a minute to play. Fake handoff, Turner looking to run, and he is going to turn it upfield and get maybe 4.
So they've only got 1 timeout left, and they're going to use it.
They're going to use it. Interesting.
Wow.
So you run it for 4 yards and then burn your last timeout. So that, with 48 seconds left, will rid Washington of all of their timeouts and set up a situation now for Oskaloosa's defense to just try to keep them in bounds. If you look at field goal kicking, their kicker is Anthony Torres.
It looked like he had a pretty good leg in warm-ups. I don't know.
He's going into the wind. He is 2 for 4 on the season, and his longest is a 30-yarder in-game.
In-game, okay.
So, and if you looked at Aaron Blom's numbers, you would say, well, he's not a good kicker.
Right.
You know, it just kind of depends on how the situation. But he's 2 for 4, so they haven't kicked it a ton this year out of the field goal unit. But we will have to see exactly what they do here. I'm sure they would prefer 6. They have the football, 2nd, and we'll call it 6, ball at the 34-yard line in Oskaloosa territory here with 48 seconds to go, and Washington now out of timeouts.
Willis comes out at quarterback, so you got to watch him. You got Willis and Redlinger both in there. Washington's got their good backfield in there, running backfield. Although Willis did throw it earlier on a roll right.
And they have Westfall Edwards back there as well. So they have a diamond formation with 2 wide receivers, 1 to each side. Here's the snap. Willis fakes a handoff. He's looking to throw. Throws it over the middle, and it is caught. What a catch by Redlinger again.
Well, we're just not going for the ball. Our safety there just did not break on the ball quick enough, and they were able to hit Redlinger. And so plenty of time now as Oskaloosa's defense is just not making plays on 2 pass plays.
Quick spike from Willis from the quarterback spot. It was a good throw again, but Van Rukel, you're right. It kind of he waited on the ball to get to him, and Redlinger has attacked the football on both of the catches he's had on this drive, and he goes up and makes a great play. I think we kind of overlooked him doing our scouting for this team coming in this week.
Well, he's a heck of a player, and he's proved it here on this drive with 2 big catches right over our players.
It's going to be Redlinger in the backfield as the deep back. Again, Turner is the quarterback with Willis out wide. Back to throw is Turner. Great pump fake, runs it up the middle, tries to cut it up. He's inside the 10, he's inside the 5 and down to about the 1. And with 31 seconds left, they'll have plenty of time to set up the offense and spike the football. Turner, and he will spike it with 29. So they have plenty of time here to run 3 plays to try to get it into the end zone. 1 yard left. It's 1st and goal from the 1. Wow, so, we got ourselves a ball game.
Yeah, they had Oskaloosa just is not making any plays on defense. It's that simple. I mean, twice there we should have knocked the ball down, and we miss it, and they make plays, and the Indians are just not making plays. The defense is really struggling tonight.
29 seconds left, lining up. Out of the gun again is Redlinger. Direct snap to him, and he tries to duck in, and he's in. Touchdown, and Redlinger. That's the 2nd time he's done that out of the Wildcat formation, and that gives Washington the lead at 25-21, and we'll see what kind of conversion we see. Torres runs out there, and it looks like they're going to be willing just to take the PAT here. They botched a snap on a PAT, then tried to chase that point and missed it on the 2-point conversion on another bad snap. Those points are looming large, but Washington, most importantly, has retaken the advantage. Willis to hold. He puts it down, and the extra point is up, and this one from Torres is good. We'll keep it here, 26-21 now. Washington has reclaimed the lead. Oskaloosa is due to get the kickoff to start the second half, but with 25.8 technically on the scoreboard here, Doug, what do you look for the Indians to do here?
Well, just cover it up and go into the locker room. It depends. If you run it back and you get it beyond, let's see, you got one timeout. If you get it beyond the 35 or 40-yard line, maybe you take a shot.
Because
well, you can take a good, decent shot, especially if they're pressing. With your field goal kicker able to hit from about 50, you only need to get to the 40. So it depends totally on the kickoff return here.
Well, we'll see. Oskaloosa's had a couple of decent ones, not to the yard marker that you just referenced, but some decent returns, and they got guys back there who have the ability to break. They have game-breaking speed, especially Tyler Miller back there with DJ Miles, and we'll see. This is kind of the spot in a game where you'll see the kicker be asked to just put it on the ground and try to hit an up back with it instead of trying to kick it deep to the big play guys.
You know, and our running back is in the middle of the field, Casey Hill.
And I think they did that intentionally. Did Oskaloosa to try and prevent them from doing that as well, but they'll kick it deep. It'll be Miles.
Good kick.
At the 7. Miles follows Hill. Miller up the middle. Got a little bit of space on the outside, turns it up. Nice tackle, though, as he tried to squirt through that hole by Washington, and that'll stop him at about the 29-yard line with 18 seconds. Just try to get out of here.
Take a knee. It would drop back to pass and get hit and fumble, and they pick it up, and just take a knee right now.
We'll see. The quarterback-center exchange under center is always a little bit risky when all your snaps are taken in the shotgun. So
well,
take it out of the shotgun and maybe take a knee from there. You could do. With 18 seconds to go, Oskaloosa trailing 26-21. Both offensives had their moments in this game. Both defensives have not.
No, they haven't.
Other than fumble recovery for both teams.
Extremely poorly played on the defensive side of the ball.
4 wide receivers Oskaloosa does have to come out here with, and Howard's going to throw it. He's looking downfield, and he is just going to swallow it and then toss it out of bounds.
And that's going to be a penalty, so that stops the clock. They have one timeout. Just take a knee. Let's get out of here.
I believe that's a grounding call.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm talking about. If he throws it up, just throws it up and they pick it off. We've seen that happen.
Intentional grounding is from the spot of the foul, and it's a loss of down. It's basically as if it's a sack. Referee.
Snap it, take a knee, snap it, take a knee.
Referee.
If we try to throw the ball here.
No flag. Okay. They're going to say he was down by contact prior to that.
Oh, the clock's running.
And because they declined the penalty, or there was no penalty because they said he was down, it's as good as a knee because he was sacked, and that'll end the first half. So Oskaloosa's offense has moments. The defense has a big fumble recovery. They end up coming back from 2 scores down and take a slim lead, but Washington at the end of the half marches it down the field and is able to get a 26-21 lead at the halftime break with Oskaloosa to receive the second half kickoff. We'll take a break, come back with the halftime show, get you caught up on everything that has happened in this one the best that we can, and get you set for the second half. Again, Washington leads Oskaloosa 26-21 at the half here on the No Coast Network.
At Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, getting your prescription filled is easy. The large covered drive-thru and easy access to the front door is convenient, and the friendly staff is always ready to help you. With a variety of goods and home decor, Mahaska Drug is sure to have the perfect gift for any occasion. Have your favorite photos developed and framed at Mahaska Drug's framing counter, and cherish your memories for years to come. It's all at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, where they have been committed to a healthy community for over 20 years. Call 673-3439 or stop in today.
The student community at William Penn made an impression on me. It's a real statement that you can come here and be part of something real.
You have the opportunity to participate in activities.
The coaches are awesome. It's easy to play for coaches that care about you.
The real experiences at Penn have helped shape who I'm going to be when I graduate. I work harder because I want to be part of the conversation in class.
I am a leader.
I am a trailblazer.
I'm proud to be a statesman.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and the surrounding area. Whether commercial, residential, or acreages, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be Oskaloosa's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
Main Street Oskaloosa is dedicated to giving our community the downtown they want and deserve. We bring vibrant community events like Art on the Square, Christmas in July, and the Lighted Christmas Parade to downtown Oskaloosa. We believe in the unique value of our district and work to support business here. Our city's history is important and it drives our efforts in the revitalization and preservation of downtown. In 2017, we received the Signature Project Award for our inspiring and innovative placemaking efforts. Our goal is a downtown Oskaloosa can be proud of. For more information, contact Emily Brown at 641-672-2591.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call Time Out to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-ALD.
Providing high-quality professional eye care with a truly caring staff is what Oskaloosa Vision Center has been doing for more than 30 years. With our state-of-the-art equipment, we can provide comprehensive eye exams, prescription glasses, and contact lenses, as well as medical care like eye infection and disease treatment, emergency eye care, and pre- and post-operative aid. Newborn to adult, we have the experience to meet all your eye care needs. Oskaloosa Vision Center. Come see us today.
At the half, it is Washington 26, Oskaloosa 21, and the halftime show for the Washington High School Band is going to be coming out on the field. And we got some halftime stats for you with the help of our buddy Wade Steinlage, who's doing the statistics for Oskaloosa football this season. Pretty even offensively, Doug, for the most part. The passing yardage for Washington is a little bit bigger, but they have thrown it 10 more times than Oskaloosa has so far in this game. Rather, ran it 10 more times than Oskaloosa for a larger rushing situation. 171 first half rushing yards, and Jack Redlinger has had an excellent first half for over 100 yards of rushing in the first half as well. For Oskaloosa, a couple of really huge plays on the offensive side of the football, and that included a couple of big plays to Tyler Miller, a 41-yard deep ball to help set up the first scoring drive, and then a touchdown pass that gave them the lead on a little wheel route later on in the first half. So they have had some game-breaking plays offensively, but if anybody's listened to this game so far, they know what you've been feeling like, and it's the defense not being able to plug those holes with a tackle. They're plugging the holes, but they're missing the tackle. Well,
and there's going to be some adjustments made by Washington, I would think, on the defensive side of the ball. They're pressing, we're throwing it deep, we're able to get some plays that way. On our defense, it's just a matter of tackling and making plays. We're sitting back, and we haven't seen this bad a defense in 2 years at Oskaloosa. So big game. It's not as much, I don't think, Washington, and their backs are good, as it is we're just not making plays. And so Oskaloosa's just got to pick it up a little bit, keep the offense going. The offense has moved the ball. The killer at the end of towards the end of the half was we had first down inside the 20, had things rolling our way with a 2-point lead, and then we bogged down with the bad handoff and then the offensive pass interference, and we get nothing out of it, and then we give up a long drive where they just made plays. So Washington has simply made more plays than we have in the first half.
Jack Redlinger, we talk about overlooking a guy in the scouting report. We overlooked him. He leads all players with 120 rushing yards after the first half, averaging 9 yards a carry, and they'll continue to give it to him, you'd figure. But he's also their leading receiver, 3 catches for 43 yards, and he has 3 rushing touchdowns already in this one here tonight. And if you're wanting to see efficient passing game, Luke Turner is 7 for 9 throwing the football for 73 yards. Doesn't have any picks, no touchdowns. And Javon Willis is 1 for 1 when he threw the ball for 12 yards as well. So really efficient stuff from Washington so far. Seth Howard leads Oskaloosa rushing the ball, 10 attempts for 53 yards and a TD. And Tyler Miller also has a rushing touchdown from 4 yards out. Howard is 3 for 10, but he has 78 yards and a touchdown. So they've hit the big plays more often for Oskaloosa, although it's not as efficient as Washington's. They have more yards throwing the football because of their ability to hit the big play so far in this game. Leading receiver, of course, Tyler Miller's got 2 balls for 67 yards and a touchdown. So the big couple of big plays for Oskaloosa with Tyler Miller receiving the football, and now the defense is going to be asked to try to step up their game and keep Washington where they are, because the offense, for the most part, has had a really good first half of this ball game.
Well, and you talk about Washington's efficiency throwing the ball, and they've got a little play there where they get the Hobscheit, I think it is, one-on-one with our linebacker. Kraber made a nice play, but they're able to run some routes out of the backfield and with their tight end where they get us in one-on-one, and if we're not right there, that's going to go all the way to the house. So they've got that in their back pocket. We got to tackle better, and we can solve a lot of problems doing that.
And what I can tell you is that Jack Redlinger showed out to be a great receiver as well. He went up and got a couple of jump balls for big plays on that last drive as well. So something to look out for, not only Redlinger running the football, but it's been Redlinger catching the football as well. And Javon Willis, although you have to respect what he brings on the offensive side of the football, hasn't really been much of a factor tonight offensively. He's taken a back seat to what Luke Turner's done running the football out of the quarterback spot and his efficiency passing it, and then Redlinger and his ability to run and catch the football. So we'll see if Oskaloosa can make those defensive adjustments. Again, they'll get the football first, will the Indians, trailing 26-21 after one half of play, still a whole second half to go. Also like to remind you, after the games go final, be sure to check out Scores and More presented by Bubbler tonight on both 104.9 FM KBOE and on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN. And KBOEradio.com and RadioKMZN.com. Of course, those are going to be the big pieces, a lot of big games tonight, much like this one that will decide playoff berths or have playoff implications, so you won't want to miss that as well. That's Scores and More presented by Bubbler with Taylor Howard back in the No Coast Network studios. We'll take another break during the halftime show and come back and try to get you some scores from what's been happening here in week number 8. That's all coming your way after this at the half. It's a 5-point lead for Washington, 26-21 here on the No Coast Network.
Swim Sports is once again open in Oskaloosa. This is Doug DeCock, the new owner of Swims. Along with Doug Swim, we are happy to be open again. Swims has a wide variety of trophies, plaques, and engraving available to Oskaloosa and the surrounding areas. We have an assortment of uniforms, socks, and belts, along with other sporting goods at the store. Swim Sports also provides a full screen printing facility for your screen printing needs. Come check out the new store at 118 A Avenue East in Oskaloosa. The two Dougs would love to see you at Swim Sports.
If you are looking for brand names close to home, then look no further than Penn Central Mall in Oskaloosa. Penn Central Mall has a wide variety of stores for people of all ages. Find the perfect pair of silver or Vigas jeans at Maurice's. Get a pair of Oakley sunglasses from the smiling staff at Eye Care Partners. Cozy up with Ashley Furniture from Gilworth Furniture. And find that dazzling diamond from Gardner Collier Jewelry. When you're done, grab a bite to eat at Miranchito or the Pizza Ranch. It's all at Penn Central Mall in Oskaloosa. Shop, walk, and enjoy Penn Central Mall.
Wonder what the outrageously energizing experience of Mountain Dew Kickstart is like? Well, it's like a combo of 3 awesome things: dew, juice, and caffeine, rebooting your entire personal operating system.
Mountain Dew Kickstart is in position for consumption. Release the Mountain Dew Kickstart. Mountain Dew Kickstart released. Experiencing a charge of Mountain Dew Kickstart now.
Mountain Dew Kickstart operation successful.
Roger that.
Get charged up with Mountain Dew Kickstart, now in 2 energizing new flavors: mango lime and raspberry citrus. Fuel with flavor.
Dreams start early, illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
We love to help people with their smiles. Petrito Orthodontics of Ottumwa and Oskaloosa is all about creating beautiful smiles and increased self-esteem that lasts a lifetime. We specialize in creating individualized smiles by committing to make each visit a memorable experience. Our office is equipped with state-of-the-art technology to ensure optimum results. For help with your smile, call Petrito Orthodontics.
Back here at the half, the Washington Marching Band putting together their show. We're at that point of the season. The marching bands are wrapping up their season. In fact, a lot of them have just 1 week of competition left. A lot of people starting to get ready for the concert band season and the jazz band season. But the Oskaloosa Marching Band has done fantastic this season, as usual, under Rich Waddington. And they have one more big night, and that is going to be tomorrow night. They're going to be performing one more time before the season is complete. And always good to see another band like this one. Is that the Grinch out there?
Well, I'm not sure what that is.
Green Man with blue pants.
Yeah, and a red hat, and I'm not sure what this.
We've not been briefed.
Is this Hansel and Gretel?
I'm not familiar with Hansel and Gretel, oddly enough. So
You're too young for that, huh?
I guess I couldn't tell you what Hansel and Gretel's about. I've heard of Hansel and Gretel. Either way, it's at the half, and it's 26-21. Oskaloosa trailing Washington. Take me through what your thoughts were overall in that first half for Oskaloosa, and what Coach Jenkins is telling his guys in the locker room.
Well, my thoughts are I was totally wrong on the way this game was going to play out. I thought we was going to settle in for a little bit more of a defensive struggle, and that was absolutely not the case. Oskaloosa has been fine up front, I think. I was a little worried about Washington's front guys. It's been Washington's backs against our defense that is really the difference in this game. They're breaking tackles, they're making plays. If you're Coach Jenkins, you have to remind your guys that last year we wore them out. Our conditioning, we've worked hard for this. We got a half of football to go. We can wear them out. You get the ball back right out of the gate, put a score up, and then try to hold them. And if I just think if you're Coach Jenkins, you just need a little bit better effort on that defensive side of the ball, and we should be okay. But the first half of that third quarter is going to be really interesting. This game has had so many ups and downs with the personal fouls and the unsportsmanlike conducts. And
what I find interesting about this is I think this is the first game we've done all season that have had multiple momentum swings.
Yeah.
We've seen games that have had one momentum swing where maybe Oskaloosa against Pella had the momentum at the beginning of the game and really took a strong hold of the game just because of the energy on week number 1, and then Pella took it over, never relinquished it. Same with Solon. Oskaloosa did the same to Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant off to a ball of fire. Oski took momentum, never looked back. This one already in the first half, Doug, we've seen go one way, then the other way, then the other way, then the other way already in this game, and Oskaloosa gets a chance. You mentioned it. In basketball season, I feel like there's no better way to tell what's going to happen in the game than the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. And I think that can apply here. The first half of this third quarter is going to be incredibly important for Oskaloosa to win the first half of the third quarter, because if you are able to retake the lead here, say here in this first half, or the first half of the third quarter, and then your defense goes out and gets one stop, and you have a chance to put on another one. They did have that chance in the first half.
They did.
But if you're able to do that again and just maybe punch that one in, get yourself a little bit of space, I feel like Oskaloosa is in a really good shape. Now, if Washington comes out and gets a quick stop, gets the football back and then scores on the first drive, and Ossie's right back to where they were deficit-wise late in the first quarter, that's going to be something that Oskaloosa is now going to be in trouble and going to have to really gut out a couple of really good drives on both sides of the football. But what's interesting for me is the fact that you don't see very many competitive games like this at the high school level, and we haven't seen one all season long. How do the Indians respond to this is going to be incredibly important, and it's going to tell us a lot about what goes on in that locker room with Coach Jenkins, because remember, this was a whale of a ball game in Oskaloosa as well, and both teams really had to fight to the very last bitter end when Javon Willis tried to score on a 2-point conversion, and Oskaloosa got a huge stop to save the win.
Yeah, you're right, Emery. Good point on the ebb and flow of this game. You know, Oskaloosa has responded being 2 scores down. So their backs were against the wall. They came out and they responded, and they responded in a big way. They do not want to go 2 scores down. I can guarantee you that in the second half. But, you know, I like the poise they showed. They picked it up a notch. It seems to me if they just play with a little higher intensity, their level of play will improve on the defensive end, and that's where we're lacking right now. But it's good. We thought it was going to be a great game, and it certainly is a great game. It's everything we thought it was going to be so far.
Oskaloosa coming back out onto the field, and Washington also going to be rejoining them in moments as we are about 5 minutes or so away from the opening kickoff of the second half, which Oskaloosa will receive. That is all going to be coming your way, but we'll take one more break in the halftime show. Let you know a couple of important scores that we have on our score sheet before we get going in the second half. But at the half, it's Washington 26, Oskaloosa 21, right here on the No Coast Network.
Plow Valve Company of Oskaloosa is very proud of all area students involved in any school activities. They know that being involved takes dedication and hard work put forth by each student. Plow Valve Company reminds you to support our area students in the various activities that they're involved in. School activities are important in molding young people into healthy, successful adults, as they are an important part of a good community. Congratulations to all area students from Plow Valve Company in Oskaloosa.
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
Experience the Brooks Vorts difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
At Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, we're proud to keep the Oskaloosa Indians and their fans safe and feeling good on and off the field. Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy is the expert in injury care, orthopedics, and sports rehab, with a new facility in Oskaloosa, complete with an open gym area in addition to several private treatment rooms. If pain is bugging you, come see the experts at Kinetic Edge for a free injury screen. Find out more, including why the Oskaloosa Indians trust Kinetic Edge, at kineticedgept.com.
You built a castle so that the prince and princess can live happily ever after. You brought the sunshine to shine upon the whole family's future. But when the sun hides behind the clouds, State Farm can help. We put the life back in life insurance to protect your family's finances, not only in the future, but today.
Call your State Farm agent Kelly Style in Oskaloosa today.
For over 30 years, Pella Printing has been leading the way in the print industry with quality equipment, modern facilities, and skilled staff. The Pella approach combines old-world craftsmanship with today's cutting-edge technology to provide brilliant printed products at a value price. They take the time to understand clients' needs from design to pre-press to printing and delivery to build lasting relationships with their customers. Whether you need personalized graduation announcements, oversized posters and banners, marketing materials, or stationery, Pella Printing offers a broad assortment of quality printed products done with speed and precision. Pella Printing, where technology and craftsmanship meet.
Second half is getting ready to start here in Washington at Case Field, and it's Washington leading Oskaloosa 26-21. A back-and-forth first half. Oskaloosa will receive the opening kickoff, but quickly, let's get to a couple of scores of note that have massive playoff implications. We had 11 teams in our listening area that had playoff hopes, and let's go run through a few of their scores. Newton at the half was hanging with West Des Moines Valley 17-14. How about that?
Well, that's good for the Cardinals.
They have to win that game and win next week in the mix for the playoffs. If they lose that game, sayonara, you don't have a chance. So
wow.
That is huge. Obviously, they're still a big underdog at home to the third-ranked team in the state in West Des Moines Valley. Also, in playoff implications, trying to dig one up here, it is Woodward Granger and Pleasantville in the fourth quarter tied at 14. So in Pleasantville and Woodward Granger both in a spot where you win and you're in, much like this one for that one. And Pleasantville ranked 7th in the state. They're only lost to second-ranked Pella Christian. Woodward Granger still has to play Pella Christian, so that might make things a little murky because I-35 did beat Woodward Granger earlier this season. Other games of note, our game of the week at the half was 40-0 Montezuma over Cardinal. And finally, in another game that was important in our area, Melcher Dallas fell to HLV 65-20. That will effectively eliminate Melcher Dallas out of the mix and really give that Moravia Colonesco winner that second seed in the 8-player district number 5. So there's a few scores. If you want more scores, scores are more presented by Bubbler after the game goes final. Be sure to check that out as well, and we'll keep you updated on all the important ones. As mentioned, of our 23 football teams in our area, 11 of them entered this week with legitimate hopes at making the playoffs. So that's pretty good, almost 50%.
Yeah, that's not bad. We hopefully they make it through tonight, and they still have a shot next week.
Yeah, and that's what we'll be looking for. Of course, the wild cards, it's really hard to kind of gauge what has to happen for all the wild card stuff. But
I made the mistake of trying to do that, and then I just kind of said, I'll wait till after this week.
Yeah, you're going into week 9, you can come up with something, but before that, it's a real crapshoot. 12 minutes on the clock. Washington going from right to left will kick it away. Oskaloosa will receive going from left to right. Miller and DJ Miles are back to receive. And Oskale will have the win at their back to start this first quarter, or the third quarter rather, as they trail it by 5, 26-21. Torres approaches and boots it in the air. This one is going to be to Miller at the 6. He is going to cut it straight up the field. Gets away from one, gets away from another, and he's across the 30, across the 40, and he's off to the races. He's inside the 40.
No flags.
Inside
no
the
flags.
20.
He's going to take it to the house.
Touchdown.
I called it.
Touchdown, Oskaloosa.
Oh, Tyler Miller is having one heck of a game tonight. He takes it to the house. I was telling Emory, wouldn't it be something if Tyler took it to the house on the kickoff, and he does it.
You did, though. That was actually a thing he said.
I did. I was like, but Tyler, take it to the house. I'd love to see it. It's his night, and he's shining right now.
90-plus yards on the return for Tyler Miller, and they swapped spots. I don't know if you saw that, Doug. Miles has typically been on the right side and Miller the left. They switched them heading in to this half. And it looks as though Oskaloosa is going to go for 2 here, and that makes sense because if you go for 2 here and you get it, it's a 3-point game.
Well, and this is not good. They're confused. The clock is down to 15, and we're going to burn a timeout here on an extra point. There's 10, 9. This ain't going to work. Not very good way to. We got to know what we're doing here. They're not going to have a penalty. You just as well kick it.
Yeah,
I like not taking
absolutely.
Just kick the
you gotta know what you're doing there first. It's real easy to just knee-jerk and send the PAT team out. But if you look at the scoreboard on the card.
Well, it's something that you're like, okay, if we score, what are we going to do?
Exactly.
I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's opening kickoff or it's 5 minutes into the third quarter. If you score, what are you going to do? You got to know what's coming up.
So they are going to kick it. It's going to be a little bit longer of an extra point for Blom. The hold is down. The kick is on the way, and Blom does put it through. So they'll have to wait till later to try to get that extra point that they wanted. Washington, if you missed it earlier in the game, had a botched snap on an extra point attempt and then tried to chase that point with a 2-point conversion and fumbled the snap on that as well. So that's the 2 points that they're missing right now. Those are huge plays in this game. Well, Oskaloosa will have to settle for being up 28-26. They would want it. They were trying to go for 2 to try to make it a field goal game, but they'll have to wait to do that later. But how about that start for Oskaloosa? They offense didn't even have to go out there, and they retake the lead.
Well, and most of the Washington fans are still getting hot dogs and popcorn, and they haven't even gotten to their seats yet. And Oskaloosa's in the lead 14 seconds into the third quarter. So we talked about it in the break. If Oskaloosa could do that and then get a stop and then score to go up 9, that's huge. We had a chance to do it, and we didn't do it in the first period. But Emory and I discussed this exact scenario over the halftime. So let's see what we can do here.
Next up is the stop. You got to get the stop. 3 deep players for Washington. They do not let you directionally kick it away from their guys. They have 3 guys back to try to return the Blom kickoff, but the wind at his back, he's going to try to put it over all 3 of their heads. 28-26, Oskaloosa, a 2-point lead after Tyler Miller returns the kickoff all the way back for a touchdown. This kickoff is a little shorter, and it's going to be received at the 2-yard line.
Good hustle down there by
trying to break it to the outside.
Good job.
Ball out! It's picked up. And a touchdown!
Well, now I saw some beanbags. I don't see any penalties. I don't think.
Zahir Mamoon.
Mamoon hustled down there on the play. He was the first one down and made the runner change direction.
I think Miller was the tackler.
And Mamoon then got blocked and got back up. That's just flat-out hustle by the Indians. What a break right there.
Tyler Miller on the tackle to force the fumble.
He is having one heck of a ball game here. So Oskaloosa's offense does not even touch the field, and they're going to have possibly 14 points and a 9-point lead.
In 26 seconds.
Wow.
Blom on for the extra point. Howard puts the hold down. Blom's kick is up.
Oh, Washington has got to be shocked.
That's gutted. They are gutted. 11:34 to go in the third quarter, and a touchdown return by Zuhair Mamoun on a fumble recovery on the kickoff. Now,
oh, Monkey. His nickname's Monkey.
When the kickoff or a kick or a punt is muffed, you don't possess the ball, it bounces off of you or one of a receiver and rolls around. You cannot return it. But that one was caught, I believe, by Jamison Bell, and he was returning the football. Tyler Miller made the hit, and as he was bringing it to the ground, the ball squirted out of there, and Mamoun picked it up. Because he possessed the ball, it is a returnable situation.
Wow, 2 touchdowns on special teams.
And the offense hasn't even sniffed the field for either team yet.
And
we're only 26 seconds into this third quarter, and Oskaloosa has a 35-26 lead.
Now what you're doing is, if you can get one more score up on them and go 16 up, that's two touchdowns
and
with 2 points. And you force them to kind of do something they don't like to do, and that's throw the ball.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Holy cow. All right, Blom again to kick it off. He kicks this one nice and low, and this is going to bounce and take a bad hop and go all the way back for a touchback. Sawyer Whistler, who has not been a factor offensively, kind of surprising in this one.
Okay, defense.
He misses the bouncing ball, and it goes back for a touchback, albeit of the unconventional variety, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Demons. 11:34 left third quarter, and all of a sudden Washington's offense comes onto the field. The defense hadn't done anything. It was all special teams, and they're down all of a sudden by 9.
Now, if this defense isn't fired up now, they're never going to be fired up. They got to go out and take this game right now.
2 wide receivers far side. Willis is the wide receiver to the far side. 2 backs along with Turner, and he's going to keep it, and he's going to be wrestled to the ground after a gain of maybe 2.5 or 3.
Pretty good job by Cole Craver there, going off the blocker and making the tackle on the quarterback there, a little read option. So
how Washington responds here is going to tell us a lot about their football team, because that is a gut punch.
Well, I don't think they can go away from what they do.
Here's another fake handoff for Turner. Turner is going to try to escort it upfield, and he's going to gain maybe 5, and it'll be 3rd and about 2.5 at about the 27.5-yard line.
So here's a huge play right here, a big 3rd down right now. But Washington not panicking, doing what they do.
There's still plenty of time. I mean, there's 11 minutes left in the third quarter.
No need to panic, but if they get down another score, then you got to start looking,
2 wide receivers to the far side, 2 backs alongside Turner in the gun. He takes the snap, and he's looking to throw. He's going to fire toward Willis, and he reaches up and high points the football. Back shoulder throw. DeYoung kind of got turned around on it. You don't see that too frequently, but Willis, that's the first time he is factored in on the passing game, and it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line after a pickup of 20 yards.
3rd down conversions are killing Oskaloosa tonight. Just threw the ball up there, and Willis was able to go up and get it over DeYoung. Like you said, it was a back shoulder throw. Alex, that's a mismatch right there.
Here's going to be a quick handoff to Redlinger. Tries to go up the field. It'll get across midfield to about the 48 in Oskaloosa territory. Give him 4.
We've got to roll a safety over the top when Alex is on Javon to get help on those type of plays. We got to make somebody else beat us other than throwing the ball up to Javon Willis.
2nd and 6 at the Oskaloosa 48 for Washington. 10-10 to go third quarter. 2 backs again. This is going to be a handoff to Redlinger. He cuts it up the field, and he's going to run.
Jesus.
Very strong over Silvers. He'll be brought down from behind by Casey Hill, but inside the 40 down to the 37, pickup of 11, and another 1st down for Washington.
It just looks, we can't stop them right now. They're just doing what they want on the ground. Here we go, take a 9-point lead, and we just let them go right down the field running the ball.
Here's a snap, a fake handoff this time, and Turner's trying to get to the outside. A man misses, and a great tackle. That time by DeYoung coming off his block.
Well, pretty good job by our end over there. He made him bubble it out or bow it out. DeYoung came up and was able to make the tackle for the no gain or actually a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, it was Cruz who forced him to go more east-west than I think he wanted to, and DeYoung was able to get off the Willis block and was able to get the tackle. Willis trying to figure out where he's supposed to be. 3 wide receivers and 2 backs on 2nd and 12. Man comes in motion. It's going to be a handoff again. Redlinger to the left side, and it's going to be Keaton, DeCock, and Kraber in on the stop. A gain of maybe 4, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 8 at the 36.
Yeah, I think this is 2-down territory for Washington right now, 3rd and 8.
Yeah,
clock's running. One thing about this running offense, that clock does not stop, and it's clicking away. If Washington doesn't score on this drive, they're going to be in a little bit of trouble.
Whistles, and an official didn't like how close the Washington kicking net was to the field, so they are telling him to get it as far with play coming closer to it. They put it out on the track now, so 3rd and 8 from the 36 in Oski territory here. And they line up 3 wide receivers, 2 to the near side, Willis by himself to the far side, and 2 backs. The snap, and it's Turner looking to throw, firing toward Willis, and he's got it over the shoulder. What a catch, and he breaks to the young tackle, and he'll score.
Well, somehow they got one-on-one out there with Willis on DeYoung, and Alex just cannot stand up to a 6'4", 225-pound receiver.
This playoff game last year against Pella, it was that about 14 times.
Yeah, give them credit. They figured, they found it. They've got a way to exploit it. Oskaloosa is going to have to make an adjustment. So what a drive by Washington. They just went right at Alex DeYoung with their big receiver, Javon Willis.
On 2 third downs.
Yeah, on 2 third downs. They've converted probably 7 third downs tonight.
They're going to keep the offense out there to try to erase one of those points they botched earlier in the game and try to make up the 2 points that they're behind that way with a couple of scores.
So now Oskaloosa switches Van Rukel over on.
It's going to be a handoff to Redlinger. It was a delayed handoff.
He got in there. No, he didn't.
No, he did not. Silvers picked up the football, but it was, I believe, Dykstra who made the tackle. Again, just indecisive handoff there by Turner on a read option, and if he would have just handed it to him, he might have had a shot to get in. But now they're 3 points down, and they hand Oski another point on a conversion attempt.
Yeah, but Oskaloosa, give Washington's offense credit. They, at halftime, made some adjustment where they could get Willis one-on-one with DeYoung, and they found it, and they just exploited it on that drive.
And when they can run the football, you almost need both safeties to be looking into the backfield to try to plug holes. And DeYoung, as good as he's been all season, as we talked about last year in that Pella game, as it doesn't matter that he has 13 career interceptions. It doesn't matter that he's got 6 interceptions this year. What matters is the fact that you have a 6'4" guy that can jump through the roof and catch anything above DeYoung's head, and DeYoung can't do anything about it if it's placed in the right spot.
Well, Emery, it looks like it's going to take 56 points to win this game, because I don't see our defense being able to stop what they're doing on offense.
Well, we'll see what happens here. Is now we'll see. Again, they've switched Miles and Miller back. So Miller's now on the left side, and Miles is on the right side. So remember last kickoff, Miller was on the opposite side. Oh, and now right as they're kicking it off, they switch, Doug. Right as they kicked it off, they switched spots again.
They're trying to get the ball to Miller. Washington taking a little time on their kickoff. They notice it.
8:37 left in the third quarter, and it's 35-37.
He absolutely noticed it.
And they went, and it's knocked down and picked up by Miller after Miles knocked it down.
Oh, my.
Holy cow, Miles with a huge block on that far side, but Miller's not going to have anywhere to go.
Well, Miles just got hit helmet to helmet. He batted the ball down and then just waited for Miller to come and get it. Should have just let it go through the end zone and take the ball to 20-yard line.
They're going to have the ball shy of the 20. They'll mark it at the 15. Well, they're trying to capitalize on the special teams' big plays that they've had. 3 missed conversions by Washington, and that is the difference in our game right now. 35-32, Oski the lead in the football at their own 15.
So 8:30 left in the third quarter, and Oskaloosa's offense finally comes back for the first time, already having 14 points on the board.
4 wide receivers, 2 to each side for Oskaloosa. Howard in the shotgun. He'll take the snap, and he'll fake a handoff to Miller, cut it upfield. He's got space. He's across the 30, and he's off to the races across the 40, across midfield.
He's gone.
And he is going to
no
run.
Fouls.
No
penalties
on the play.
What a run.
Touchdown, Oskaloosa.
Oh, what a run. Oskaloosa has scored 21 points on 1 offensive play.
Seth Howard for 85 yards.
You got to love it.
For 85.
It might take 63 to win this. That's scoring way too quick.
41-32, and because of the failed two-pointer over here, this extra point would put you up 10.
Yeah.
Oski was going to go for 2 just to put it up there by themselves. They don't have to now because
if our defense could just figure out a way to tackle.
You really just need one stop as Blom's extra point is up. And as usual, it is good. 42-32, 8:15 to go, third quarter. Sign us up for more of this. We'll go ahead and take a quick break. Oski will kick it off when we come back on the No Coast Network.
Unbelievable.
At Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, getting your prescription filled is easy. The large covered drive-thru and easy access to the front door is convenient, and the friendly staff is always ready to help you. With a variety of goods and home decor, Mahaska Drug is sure to have the perfect gift for any occasion. Have your favorite photos developed and framed at Mahaska Drug's framing counter, and cherish your memories for years to come. It's all at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, where they have been committed to a healthy community for over 20 years. Call 673-3439 or stop in today.
We got ourselves a good old-fashioned gunslinging shootout over here in Washington tonight. Case Field is hosting a barn burner. It's like the OK Corral over here, Doug DeCock. It's 42-32. Oskaloosa's already doubled their point total from the first half, and we haven't played 4 minutes here in the third quarter. They have run one offensive play. They had a kickoff return for a touchdown, a fumble return for a touchdown on the ensuing kickoff, and then an 85-yard run by Seth Howard, and Oskaloosa leads at 42-32, and Washington again, after they go down the field and score, get punched in the gut once again.
Yeah, it is Friday the 13th.
You never know. Blom puts this one high in the air, and it will be dropped. I believe.
A lot of times that can go big.
Myers is the return man, tripped up by Zuhair
Tackle him.
And he's going to be stopped at the 18.
Tackling is just atrocious tonight.
8:06 to go in the third quarter, 42-32.
Here we go. Let's see if the defense can figure out a way to stop somebody.
If you get one stop and then score after that, it now becomes a 17-point game potentially.
That's huge.
And that's that is 3 possessions. So that would change things, but you need to get a stop, and both teams have struggled to do that here tonight. They come out, do the Demons with Redlinger in the Wildcat. He's going to send a man in motion, and he's going to fake it to him. He's going to run it off right tackle, straight up the gut. He's going to be tackled by Van Rukel after a gain of 9 out to the 27.
Redlinger is just punishing our guys, too. He's a hard runner.
He doesn't shy away from the contact.
We're just getting gashed now up on the line.
Well, we're not even going to worry about putting Turner in the game. He's just going to keep taking the snaps.
Yeah. This is
Redlinger back to take the snap on 2nd and 1, and he's going to look to throw it, and he's stopped. Oh, what a great tackle. What a play on the outside edge by Jared Cruz.
Well, they were going for a little something there, and Oskaloosa did a good job. DeYoung and Van Rukel did not bite on the run, and Cruz was able to get the sack. So here we go, a huge third down deep in their own territory.
They lost 5
this
on
could
that
be
play.
it.
Lost 5 on that play. Cruz's man just absolutely whiffed on the block, and Cruz was able to make the play. Loss of 5, 3rd and 6 now from the 22-yard line, and Turner is back in with wide receivers 2 on the far side, 1 on the near side. And 1 back is Redlinger. Also got an H-back. Man in motion. This is going to be a fake handoff to Redlinger. Throw it over the top to Hopshite.
Picked off.
And he did not catch it, or did he? Did Hopshite catch that?
No.
He took a huge hit. Holy cow. They're going to talk about it.
No, there's a ref saying incomplete. So there's your 4th down. The referee on the far side is clearly saying incomplete.
There, I believe, is a flag in the backfield. I'm not sure.
I hope this is not roughing the passer.
We'll see. Holding on Washington.
Wow.
So, and Hopshite took a huge shot from Van Rukel there, nearly intercepted and also nearly caught. But it's 3 and out for the Washington offense.
That's the play we were talking about where they get one-on-one with that tight end coming through there.
And late substitutions.
Well, you got to watch this now.
And Miller is kind of rolling up as a couple of late guys run onto the field. Willis is back to punt, standing at his own 6-yard line.
It'd be nice
snap, and he can't field it, and now he's looking to run with it. He comes to the near side, looking to throw, fires it high and deep, and he's got a man, and he catches it.
Unbelievable now.
There's a flag on the play. It's
ineligible men downfield. It's got to be.
Everybody was downfield. Who made the catch?
That's got to be ineligible down. Yes, there we go. Holy cow.
Cade Porin.
The ball was just throwing up, and
Cade Porin was standing there.
Yeah.
And Tyler Miller, who doesn't play any defense, absolutely destroyed him.
Jeez.
And all for naught, because it's going to be a 5-yard penalty for an eligible man downfield.
Can we just get the ball on offense here? This is just a struggle.
So they'll mark off 5, and it'll be 4th and 11 now. And that was a bad snap. And now if you make that bad snap, Willis is going to have much room to do anything with it.
Well, now you kind of take away that fake punt, too, a little bit.
Well, I mean, now, yeah.
Just get the ball. And I wouldn't even care
snap.
if he doesn't catch it this time.
Good snap. Willis kicks this one short.
Get away.
And it's going to be to the near side, and it'll take a little bit of a Oskaloosa.
There we go.
Or a Washington roll, rather, and picked up at the Washington 42-yard line. If you can hear my play-by-play over the incomparable
Sorry about
Doug
that.
DeCock. It's okay, man. This is an emotional game.
I sure hope the listeners are enjoying this as much as we are. We're trying to keep it together up here. This is just a crazy game. It's almost like the Washington Cubs baseball game last night. You don't know what's going to happen.
That was a terrible baseball game, by the way.
Yeah, it was bad defense.
That was as ugly a baseball game I've seen in the playoffs.
Well, Emory, this could really put the clamps down if Oski could score here.
1st and 10 Indians from the 42. Handoff to Hill. Up the gut. Gains 3 to the 39. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 7. Oskaloosa leading with 6:20 to go, third quarter, 42-32.
Good positive yardage on the gain for the Indians there, though. I like that. Good solid 3 yards.
2nd and 7. Ball in the middle
Blake
of the
looks like he's hurt in Van Veldhuizen.
Well, you can tell that they weren't going to snap it the way he was kind of hovering there.
And this type of game running up and down the field gasses those big guys.
2nd and 7. Howard takes the snap and will run it himself up the middle. Breaks a couple of tackles.
Good run.
Inside the 35, and he's going to be down right around the chains to the 31, 32. And we'll see where they mark it. I think he's going to be right there at the chains.
Excellent run by Seth Howard there, breaking some tackles through there and getting the extra yardage.
I think we are going to see a measurement. We'll have to see. Kylie Broadway just wrapped up his broadcast, 47-8.
Another good game.
Yeah, 47-8. Montezuma over Cardinal. Yeah,
those poor guys.
Who scheduled those games? Kylie wanted to make sure he knew that he thought that last night's game was a great game.
Oh, Captain Kylie and the Cubbies.
Ugh. Yuck. Anyways, measurement here to see if it is first down yardage. It's either 3rd and inches or a first down, and it looks like he's short by about 2 chain lengths.
Okay, let's see what Oskaloosa does here. This might be a play here.
Well, we'll see. Oskaloosa will have 3rd and inches from the Washington 32.
This is, I think Oskaloosa may run something a little different here. We'll see. All the players are aware of it.
Got to wait for the chains to get set.
And no, they're not. They're going to stick with basic stuff there. Once in a while, they'll throw Van Veldhuizen in at running back on a short yardage.
We've only seen that one time all year.
The clock has not started, so we're in no hurry.
Oh, they're going to go. They're faking a quick snap, and there is a quick snap for Howard, but I think he might have been stopped.
Why in the world? We're not used to. We're not used to go. I don't think he made it.
Well, I don't know if he made it or not, but now Washington's saying they have the football.
Well, it's 4th down. I'll tell you what, Emory, if you would pass the ball right here, you're going to get a touchdown.
Really?
Yes.
You're saying on 4th and inches here, if Oskaloosa passes the football.
Yeah, go for it. Riverboat Gambler right here.
Really?
Yes.
This is not like you. This is 4th and less than a half yard.
Well, they just tried to go up under center, and they got blasted.
I think the snap needed to come as soon as he got there.
Yeah.
Washington had a chance to kind of key in on that for a couple of seconds before the snap actually took place.
So here's a huge play, 4th and less than 1 for the Indians.
No man's land, so you have to go for it at the 33. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Howard in the gun once again with Hill next to him. Here's the snap. Howard fakes the handoff.
Didn't get it.
Tristan Westfall Edwards. And that's
Didn't
a big
get
play.
it.
Big play for Washington there. I think the measurement took Oskaloosa out of their rhythm. And then after they tried, it was kind of a gadget play for Oskaloosa. You never see them under center. They were stuffed there. Then they tried to run the read option that's been successful the last couple of drives. And then Westfall Edwards stepped up and made a huge tackle. Loss of about 4 on the play.
Wow.
And just like that, with 4:27 to go in the third, Washington staves off a huge threat. And they have 1st and 10 from their own 36, still down by 10.
Can you say missed opportunities? Missed opportunities, yeah. So Veldhuizen is out of the game right now. Keegan Butler is in there for Blake right now.
2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. It's going to be a fake handoff by Turner, and he's going to cut back up against the grain, and he's got some space to the outside. Willis, a good block on DeYoung, and there's a flag on it.
Thank goodness.
That's going to be a huge gain that's going to come back as Turner used a huge block from Javon Willis.
That's still probably going to be a first down.
Well, we'll see where the flag is marked. I don't think so, where that flag is positioned. It would be 1st and about 6.
Once again, we can't tackle.
It is first. It's going to be a hold on Javon Willis on that outside. I was talking about that block. He sealed the edge so well, but I think at the end he just held on too long.
And he just shoved him actually while holding on.
So
we are in deep trouble on defense here. We can't stop them.
It's going to be marked. It'll be basically 5-yard gain, and 1st and 5 will be the decision after a 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So still first down, but it's 1st and 5. It is going to be 3 wide receivers for Washington, 2 backs, and Turner in the gun. He sends a man in motion, and he's going to pitch it to him. It is Myers coming to this near side, and he cuts it up. Good blocking again by Washington. Van Rukel will make the tackle, but not before it's 1st down yardage across midfield for a gain of 14 to the 45-yard line in Oski territory.
Really nice play there. They had blockers out front. They just did almost a jet sweep, and they had numbers
2
on us.
2 kickouts as well.
Yeah.
One of the backs and the wide receiver on this near side, Sawyer Whistler, both got their guys to the ground. It was well designed. 3 wide receivers. They mark him at the 46 in Oski territory. This is going to be a handoff to Redlinger. He loses his footing a little bit, cuts it back around, and he's going to gain 5 to the 41.
Well, Tanner did a good job of getting penetration there. He got his hands on him. He wasn't able to get him down, but we got to have more people flowing to the ball.
More hats just have to be there.
Yeah, we got 1 guy there. We need to get 3 guys around the ball.
Same formation, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the far side, and 2 backs. They're going with a little bit of tempo here. This is going to be a handoff again. Redlinger.
He's gone.
And he's got plenty of space. Silvers, no, this is not Redlinger, and whoa, trying to jump over Van Rukel, but getting the 1st down is Jacob Hall. That's the first time we've seen Hall get a carry. They went away from Redlinger, and that's why that side was so open. They haven't seen 14 touch the football, and when 14 gets the ball, there was nobody there.
Well, they're almost running like a spinner back offense back there. It's hard to tell who even's getting the ball.
First, and especially with the guy in motion, this is going to be a keeper for Turner, and he's going to be stuffed at the line of scrimmage this time, right up the gut. Big Biscuit is back in there, and he makes the tackle.
Yeah, the motion is really giving us problems. We almost need to roll with the motion, and so we got enough guys over there. But when they come in motion full speed, it is giving us huge problems.
3 minutes to go, third quarter, 42-32, Oski by 10. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the far side, and 2 backs. Here's the snap. Another keeper by Turner. Dykstra in pursuit. Cruz also in pursuit. But look at the speed by Turner, and he's inside the 20. Going to cut it upfield.
Yeah, 4 missed tackles. 4 missed tackles on that play. This is just something else tonight.
Well, good blocking at the point of attack, but about 2 or 3 Indians right at the line of scrimmage. Dykstra was trying to catch him from behind, but too much speed from Turner. And then by the time he got to the corner, he was just able to outrace everybody there. Turner, I think he's just got a lot of speed.
Well, it could be. It just
because Dykstra was in the right spot. Cruz was in the right spot. He just outran them to the corner.
Yeah, it looked like we had him. So
the snap, the hold is down. Torres with the extra point.
Missed it.
Just got in there, snuck inside the right upright. 2:47 left, third quarter, and we got a barn burner here. Oski will get it back, leading by 3, 42-39 in Washington. We'll take a quick break on the No Coast Network.
The student community at William Penn made an impression on me. It's a real statement that you can come here and be part of something real.
You have the opportunity to participate in activities.
The coaches are awesome. It's easy to play for coaches that care about you.
The real experiences at Penn have helped shape who I'm going to be when I graduate. I work harder because I want to be part of the conversation in class.
I am a leader.
I am a trailblazer.
I'm proud to be a statesman.
Welcome back. We are live here from Washington. And if you're an Oskaloosa supporter, one of the things that I can tell you is that you haven't experienced a game quite like this in some time. 42-39, Oskaloosa has the lead with 2:47 left still in the third quarter. Some just massive plays up and down this this ball game, Doug, and Oskaloosa's offense is going to have to get right back at it here and try to make this a two-score game once again.
Yeah, you know, it was entertaining for a while, Emory, but now it's starting to get frustrating. Our defense shows no sign of being able to slow down Washington, and I'm going to stay with my 63 points is what it's going to take to win this game.
High kick. Miller camps under it. He's got it at the 8. He's going to turn it upfield, try to get to the outside on the far side. He's going to be stuffed and will be stood up and eventually buried at about the 26-yard line. A lot of chippiness after the play. A lot of times when you get 16 guys around the football after they stand up the guy and not get him to the ground as quickly as possible, sometimes you'll see a little bit of scrumming after that. But these two teams, I think both teams are a little frustrated right now defensively because both teams are really struggling to get stops, and Oskaloosa has had the benefit of two big special teams plays, a kickoff return by Miller for a touchdown, a fumble on the ensuing kickoff by Washington, and Zuhair Mamoon returned it for a touchdown. And then after that, or in the first quarter, the first points of the game was a fumble recovery and a return for a touchdown by Mikhail Hobscheit for Washington. So there have been some big plays in defense and special teams in this one, but the offenses otherwise have had their way. 4 wide receivers for Oski, 1st and 10 from the 24. Here is a quick throw on a timing route. Cole Henry's first catch of the game, and it's going to be for a gain of about 6.
Nice catch by Cole Henry there. Emory, really the difference, this game could be out of reach, but Oskaloosa has bogged down, and not necessarily in the red zone, but just outside of the red zone, not being able to get a half a yard, not being able to execute down deep in Washington territory.
2nd and 4, ball spotted around the 30. 4 wide, 2 to each side. The snap, this is going to be a handoff to Miller, and he's got nothing.
And
good penetration up the middle by the Demons.
They have made an adjustment. They are stuffing it up the middle. And right now, I would say momentum is with Washington big time. And Oskaloosa is in a little bit of trouble here.
3rd and 5, maybe 3rd and 6 on the 28-yard line. Oskaloosa kind of moving some guys around. Alex DeYoung is playing wide receiver on the far side along with...
Boy, what is this? We don't know what we're doing.
And guys are switching all over the field. DeYoung is going to come out wide to the near side. So
what are we doing?
Got to hurry. 5 seconds on the play clock. The snap to Howard. He's looking to throw. Throws it over the middle, and it's broken up.
Oh, they called a flag from way over here. A tough call against Washington.
My.
Oh, my.
Is that really going to be a pass interference?
He threw it right at it.
On the coverage, Cade
Hennigan.
Oh,
my.
Cade Hennigan. It was pretty close, but, I mean, it looked pretty clean to most of us.
I don't know. That's what this discussion's all about. But I heard one of the Washington coaches just yell, "That's not your call." And what do they call?
Illegal touching on Oskaloosa.
Illegal participation or something.
No, illegal participation is two.
There,
hands,
he's got his hand
hands,
across his chest.
2 hands behind his head.
Oh.
I don't know what's going on. Whatever it was on Oskaloosa. The official here on this near side threw the flag late, and I don't know what it was about.
Well, that wasn't a penalty. So.
Yeah, no. I mean, as long as it doesn't affect the play.
Right. Oskaloosa looks tired. Our guys just look like a little bit ragged right here.
Well, they did move the chains back to 4th and 11, but I don't think that is a loss of down play.
No, it wouldn't be.
If you take the yardage, then
confusion. Now we're rushing on. We're rushing the punt team on. There's mass confusion right now.
Yeah, I'm confused as well. I'll be honest. 1:28 left here in the third quarter. The punt from Van Ruckel.
Kick.
Holy cow, look at that bounce. Look at it bounce inside the 20. It's the second time he's changed the field position completely, and it'll be down by DJ Miles at the 15-yard line.
Absolutely lucky. We were scrambling on there. The snap was with 2 seconds left. It's amazing nobody was moving. Right now, Oskaloosa is a little bit confused and out of whack.
Well, I was confused at what happened. They walked off the yardage. I didn't see them put their hands on their head for a loss of down.
And then we left our offense on there, and then the punt team runs on, and well, here we go. This is not this is not the situation we want. Washington with a chance to take the lead on it with a touchdown.
Well, it is a 3-point game. It's 42-39. Oskaloosa with the lead. DeYoung will sprint over to where Willis is. They're going to fake a handoff, and Big Biscuit, there's a flag right on the point of the.
Well, if this is against Oskaloosa,
I'm not sure. I would guess.
I decline this illegal shift.
Yeah, I'm thinking an illegal shift, as it was maybe a loss of 1 on the play. It was a good job, and they're going to say just illegal formation.
Illegal shift.
And illegal shift.
I'd almost decline this.
Take the second down?
Yeah.
He's looking toward the sideline.
Decline it. I mean, we're having a hard time stopping them.
We'll give them less downs.
2 plays in a row, yeah.
Give them less downs.
Yep.
They did lose yardage on the first down play. Van Veldhuizen the tackle on Turner in the backfield. They're trying to do the math here. And it looks like they will decline it.
Oh, my goodness. This game is wearing me out. 42-39. And
2nd and 13. Loss of 3 on the play. And they'll have the ball at the 13-yard line. 1:10 to go in the third quarter. Washington down by 3 with the football. 2 wide receivers to the near side. 2 backs. Turner takes a snap looking to throw. Fires it high and deep down the middle of the field looking for Willis. He jumps up and wins the jump ball again. That's why he's that wide receiver, Doug.
Yeah, we had coverage over the back, and we just kept floating with the ball instead of going to get the ball, and they're just throwing it up to Willis, and he's going and getting it right now.
That's why, I mean, it's obvious.
Huge play.
The guy is just a monster out there, and that's a 3rd big play he's been able to give them. As here's going to be a quick snap. Turner's going to keep it, try to get to the outside again, and look at Tanner DeCock trying to drag him down. He does. How?
Jeez.
With one hand on his jersey, pulls him back and holds him to a gain of about 3.
Well, nice play by Tanner there. Somebody inside made one quick move, and he was already on his way outside. These guys are good at going in and then bellying outside on their run. Uh-oh. What's this?
Kraber. And there are flags all over the place. There must be something going on between the line of scrimmage.
Oh, no. Is this going to go against Blake or Oskaloosa?
I think this is going to be on both teams. So, Kraber was limping off the field. 2 fouls. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Oskaloosa and on Washington.
Okay.
And the penalty's offset.
Get it under. It's not first down. It's 2nd down.
Yeah.
He signaled first down.
I think the refs are trying to just make sure everybody stays.
This is just nuts tonight.
I mean, they don't want this to get out of hand between the 2 teams.
Right.
You know? And that's why that referee threw the flags were thrown in that scenario. Either way, it's 2nd and 8 or 7.5 at the Washington zone 48. And this could be the last play of the third quarter. Handoff coming back to this near side. Again, they run away from Redlinger, and a flag, 2 flags late.
Face mask?
Not sure. 2 flags came in right near the point of the tackle.
That's going to be 15 probably.
The runner was Tanner Murphy for the first time in this one. Again, they run away from Redlinger, and Oskaloosa's not ready. Personal foul face mask. You called it, Doug. And that'll be 15 more. So that's the 2nd time this half they've done that. They've sent Redlinger going one way, and then the second back who hasn't gotten the ball yet in the game, in both occasions. First it was Jacob Hall. Secondly, it's Tanner Murphy. They get a big 10-yard pickup on the play. And then this time you tack on 15 on the face mask. And with 19 seconds left third quarter, nearing the red zone now are the Demons at 1st and 10 at the Oskaloosa 27-yard line.
We talked about adjustments at halftime, and Washington's offense, even though they didn't really need to make an adjustment, they did. Now they're getting wide open running lanes.
2 wide receivers to the near side. 1st and 10 from the 27. This is a handoff to the right side to Redlinger, who gets a nice lead block from Murphy, tries to get to the edge, and will be pushed out by Silvers after a gain of maybe 4 or 5.
Well, our pursuit is coming up and then going sideways and letting the runner get turned upfield. We got to get after him a little bit.
That's the end of the third quarter, and what a third quarter it was. Oskaloosa will carry a 3-point lead into the 4th, but Washington's driving 42-39. Oski the lead. We'll take a quick break and be back with more after this on the No Coast Network.
Wonder what the outrageously energizing experience of Mountain Dew Kickstart is like? Well, it's like a combo of 3 awesome things. Dew, juice, and caffeine rebooting your entire personal operating system.
Mountain Dew Kickstart is in position for consumption. Release the Mountain Dew Kickstart. Mountain Dew Kickstart released. Experiencing a charge of Mountain Dew Kickstart now.
Mountain Dew Kickstart operation successful.
Roger that.
Get charged up with Mountain Dew Kickstart, now in 2 energizing new flavors, mango lime and raspberry citrus. Fuel with flavor.
What a game we have here in Washington at Case Field. These two teams, Washington and Oskaloosa, with a playoff spot on the line, for sure playoff spot on the line. The loser of this game will still probably be in the mix for a wild card berth. But what I can tell you is, if you're listening to this game, it's hard to describe it without seeing it. You'll get a chance to see it on our YouTube channel as early as tomorrow, so be sure to check that out, No Coast Network on YouTube. But the score currently reads 42-39, Oskaloosa with a 3-point lead, but Washington has the football 2nd and 5 on the Oski 22, and they are driving. Emery Songer, Doug DeCock with you on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN and radio KMZN.com. 2 wide receivers to the near side, a tight end, and 2 backs with Luke Turner, the quarterback for Washington. There's going to be a handoff. Redlinger goes off left guard, and he'll fall forward close to the first down inside the 20 to the 19, and it probably is going to be 3rd and 1 here.
Yeah, Washington just pounding away. When they need to, they throw it up to Willis. Otherwise, they just pound it away on the run game.
Again, same formation, 3rd and about half yard. This is going to be another handoff to Redlinger, and he's got a big block up front. Redlinger still fighting through tackle. Ball's out. Ball's out. Who's got it? Oskaloosa thinks they have it.
Well, somebody threw a flag or something.
No, it's a beanbag.
Well, Oskaloosa ripped it out.
Who's got it? And Washington comes out of there with it. Both teams are still pointing both ways, but Washington, I think, has the football. Washington had the football coming out of the pile. And they're going to give it to Oskaloosa. I think. Oskaloosa's reacting that way.
They're Oskaloosa.
Yep.
Yes, they are.
Wow.
What a rip right there. Huge defensive play.
Redlinger was kind of stumbling through the first
Somebody
tackle.
was ripping. I couldn't see if it was Calvin Silvers, but they were ripping at the ball, and that is a big, big turnover.
Well, Washington came out of the pile holding the football, so somebody must have saw Oskaloosa have it in the pile before that.
Yeah, wow. Now, if our offense can put together about a 5-6 minute drive.
In this game?
Yeah.
Every score we've seen, except for a couple that Washington's just driven it down for about 4 minutes, it's been real quick hit and drive.
Yeah, but this is a playoff berth is on the line right here.
Oskaloosa comes out with 3 wide receivers, a fullback, and a running back with Howard in the gun. 1st and 10 from their own 13. There's going to be a pitch to Hill going to the outside. Tries to cut it up, and he does. Good job by Hill, and he's going to be brought down after a gain of about 5. That's an excellent run from him because there wasn't much there.
Yeah, nice play. A little quick pitch from Seth Howard to Casey Hill over there. He goes around the right end, gets a nice 5-yard gain. If I'm Oskaloosa, I'm not in any hurry to run plays right now, the way Washington's offense is moving the ball.
Or maybe you are in a hurry. You just want to maximize as many possessions as both teams get. I'm not sure which way they'll do it.
It could be the last team with the ball might win this thing.
You might just want to stretch it out as much as you can. Who knows? Either way, 42-39, Oski by 3 in the football. 2nd and 5 from the 17-yard line. Howard, he'll take the snap, and he'll fake the handoff and be buried as soon as he gets away with it.
They are really manhandling us in the middle right now.
Yeah, the offensive line did all right the first half. Second half, that has not been that way.
We need to fake that and hit a flat pass to our little flanker or whatever you want to call it there to get them back to normal.
3rd and 9 after a loss of 4. Oskaloosa will come out with 4 wide receivers, and they are running quite a bit of clock in between these plays. 10-15 left here in this 4th quarter. Oski by 3, 3rd and 9. Howard takes the snap, and he's looking to throw. He's got some time. He fires over the middle, but it's short. Good coverage by Rickard as he was looking for his big play man, Tyler Miller, who's made several big plays, both in the passing game, the running game, the special teams game. But that time, Howard just didn't get enough on the football.
He underthrew him. I mean, if anything, lead him, then throw it up. When you underthrow him, you're doing them somewhat of a favor. So Washington's defense has risen up here in this last few possessions.
4th and 9, and Van Rukel to punt into the wind. Willis back standing at midfield to return. Low snap. Van Rukel digs it out, and he's able to kick it.
That might bounce the wrong way.
I won't even get a bounce because it's out of bounds. Not a great punt from Van Rukel there. And they are going to mark it out of bounds at the 30-yard line. So not a ton of field position change. They just lost a couple minutes worth after the fumble. And you said it, Washington has responded well each and every time they needed to after getting punched in the mouth with 2 special teams touchdowns by Oskaloosa to start the second half. And they've come back and they've made a game out of this. Now the offense coughed it up. We'll see if the offense can respond again here, still trailing by 3.
Washington so far, other than those 2 turnovers, is the better team in this second half.
2 wide receivers to the near side, 2 backs, and Turner takes the snap, fakes the handoff, runs over right guard, gets away from the first hit, gets away from the second hit. Actually, that's Van Rukel who was able to get him down to the 26.
Missed tackle at the line of scrimmage. He right there, though, at his feet, our linebackers just are not making tackles.
That was a pickup of 4 yards, 2nd and 6. 2 wide receivers to the near side, ball in the near hash. It's going to be a handoff to Redlinger off left guard this time, and he's going to be drugged down to the ground by Mamoon and Kraber.
And Washington's just lining up and going fast. They're in a rhythm, and Oskaloosa is confused. They're looking for signals. They're not sure what defense to get in.
It was a gain of 4 again. It's 3rd and 2 at the 22 in Oskaloosa territory. Another handoff to Redlinger. He's going to get first down yardage, and he'll be brought down after another gain of about 4. 4 or 5 yards a pop at this point is going to be good enough.
They're just lining up. Watch them. Look for him to take a shot to Willis out here against DeYoung pretty quick, because now your safety's going to have to start sneaking up, and they may take a shot to Willis out here against DeYoung.
2 wide receivers again. Willis is the widest of the 2. They send a man in motion. This is a snap, and it's going to be a handoff. This time it's to Hall. And Hall's going to get inside the 10, down to about the 9.
Well, it looked like a little holding. Oskaloosa players getting up slow.
They are running right at him. 8:45 to go in the 4th.
That's
Washington down 3.
8-yard gain. They are just pounding it at him.
Timeout, Oskaloosa.
Yeah, it's a good timeout.
Oskaloosa is trying to stand tall and force a field goal attempt. They are within range for their kicker, Anthony Torres. We'll take a timeout with them. 8:44 left in the 4th quarter. Oski by 3, but Washington threatening. Take a quick break on the No Coast Network.
Mahaska County Ag and Rural Development is dedicated to the promotion and improvement of rural economies and to the development of both vision and leadership to enhance the quality of life in all Mahaska County. Recently designated as a home base Iowa community, Mahaska County and the city of Oskaloosa are now welcoming veterans and transitioning service members for career opportunities in the area. This also includes an incentives package created through Mahaska County Ag and Rural Development. For more information on how to support the Home Base Iowa initiative, contact Deanne DeGroot at 641-672-2591.
Oskaloosa's defense taking a timeout, and I think I agree with you that you probably wanted to do that. You haven't given up the touchdown yet. A field goal would tie the game at worst. So what you got to do as the Oskaloosa defense with a 42-39 lead and still 8:44 left here is you try to gain as much as you can within you, and for the next 3 plays, do your best to try not to give them another inch.
Well, that's wishful thinking, I think, Emery, because they have gained at least 4 yards on almost every offensive play they've ran this half. I think if you can hold them a few times, get the clock down to around 6 minutes, then you go for that game-winning drive.
That is something you could do as well. 2 wide receivers, they send Myers in motion again. They fake the handoff up the middle, and it's going to be Turner up the gut, and he is near the goal line and he's in. Touchdown, Washington.
Yeah. This offense has just got us befuddled.
The running game has just been fantastic, and the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball now is currently being won by Washington pretty regularly. And the Demons have a 45-42 lead, and this extra point attempt, Doug, it's been adventurous for them on the conversion attempts, but this is a big one. This would give them a 4-point lead and take a field goal out of the equation for Oskaloosa to try to tie the game. The snap, Willis the hold. It's down, and the kick is on the way from Torres. And it is no good. He missed it to the right. Oh, no.
That is a big miss.
Well, that keeps it a 3-point game, and Oskaloosa now has an opportunity on a field goal to tie the game if it comes down to that. Either way, it's 45-42. Oskaloosa down 3, and they'll get it back after a quick break here on the No Coast Network.
Wonder what the outrageously energizing experience of Mountain Dew Kickstart is like? Well, it's like a combo of 3 awesome things: dew, juice, and caffeine, rebooting your entire personal operating system.
Mountain Dew Kickstart is in position for consumption. Release the Mountain Dew Kickstart. Mountain Dew Kickstart released. Experiencing a charge of Mountain Dew Kickstart now.
Mountain Dew Kickstart operation successful.
Roger that.
Get charged up with Mountain Dew Kickstart, now in 2 energizing new flavors: mango lime and raspberry citrus. Fuel with flavor.
Oskaloosa about to receive the kick. 8:38 to go in the fourth quarter. Oskaloosa trailing now 45-42. They did lead by 10. They've been down by as many as 12. That's how much this game has gone back and forth. But we were talking during the break, without a couple of special teams touchdowns to start this second half, Doug, Washington has been the better team on the field.
Yeah, they thoroughly dominated us this half, and we need Tyler Miller to turn one up again.
He did return one to start the half, and he'll get a shot here at about the 5. He's going to follow Miles up through the hole, get a couple of blocks inside, across the 20, across the 30. He's across the 35 down to the 38, and another great return by Tyler Miller to set the offense up well out of the shadows of their own goal line. And now, how's the offense respond after a few consecutive drives of really doing nothing?
Well, nice return there. First of all, our return team has done a good job for the most part and kept us in this game also. But our offense, I think we got to be patient. And maybe we need to go to maybe try some short. We've hit those short out patterns, and maybe try to hit that and loosen them up, or hit our flankers with a little bubble screen or something like that.
Well, the passing game for Oskaloosa has been.
It's got to be quick. We're getting beat up the middle.
It's not been too reliable in this game. Oskaloosa's done some damage with Seth Howard running the football. 4 wide receivers. Howard in the gun, takes the snap, and he's going to look to throw. He's got time, fires it near the end zone, and it's going to be picked off. Henry slipped out of his break, but it was not. He wasn't going to have a play on the ball anyway, as Jacob Hall just had to go down to a knee to reel in that interception, and it's going to be a 1st and 10, and just not a good throw by Seth Howard.
No, it wasn't.
Even if Henry doesn't slip, he can't make a play on that ball.
Yeah, and actually Tanner was getting ready to break open. They were running beside each other. I think Cole was running a stop route right there, and Tanner was going to run the post, and he was going to break open, and the throw was just he just undercut it.
And it was not close to Henry on the throw from Howard. So the interception, that's a big turnover for Washington this time, and this is going to be a run to the near side by Redlinger. He gains 1, tackle by Kraber. 2nd and 9, and now this is where the defense has to get a stop, because with the way the offense is going now, Doug, you can't fall behind more than the 3 points you're down now.
No, our offense has scored 1 touchdown, and that was on a 88-yard run up, that got loose. So in this half.
Yes. 2nd and 9 from the 44 in Oskaloosa territory. Big interception by Jacob Hall. The snap is a fake handoff. Turner turns it straight up the field. Cruz will tackle him from behind. Flag comes down.
Holding against Blakeman Veldhuizen, but not against him, on the player trying to block him.
I believe the man who will be guilty of that is Colin Murphy up the middle.
That is a big, big penalty.
It was committed just past the line of scrimmage. So it's 10 yards from the spot. And we'll just wait for them to walk it off, because you just never know how they walk these things off.
Yeah.
Either way, it'll be 2nd and well past 10.
I want to give some thumbs up to this refereeing crew. This has not been an officiating crew. Has not been an easy game to officiate.
Oh, no.
And I don't.
Been pretty balanced as well.
Yeah, it's been. They've done a good job. It has not affected the game, in my opinion.
I would agree with that. 2nd and 17. They had some calls that could have affected the game, though. But they've done a good job of not letting that get to them. 2 wide out to the far side. 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Washington leading by 3 with the football. Ball in their own 48 now, and the same play. Turner tries to go up the gut and gets past the first level, and he's going to be ridden by Kraber, and he'll get first down yardage on a gain of 20 before Kraber, Van Rukel, and Silvers are able to bring him down. And the line of scrimmage is being won by Washington every play.
It is, but we just can't. We're not making any tackles here. They just ran right up the middle, run through an arm tackles.
And they run hard. Turner runs hard. Redlinger runs hard.
They do run hard.
They are not shying away from the contact by any means.
So 45-42, 7:36 remaining in this game, and Oskaloosa's backs are against the wall.
2 wide receivers to the far side, 2 backs. This is a formation they've been running the last few drives. It's a handoff to Redlinger, and he'll work his way and power his way through a tackle down to the 29-yard line. 7:15 to go and counting, and with the way that their offense works, this is exactly what they want to do, gain 4 or 5 yards a pop.
Yeah, they can basically end the game here.
7 minutes left, but they could run out maybe 3 or 4 more minutes the way they're running it if they take some time. They're already lined up with 15 left on the play clock, though. We'll see how quickly they snap it. They'll snap it with 10. The snap, they're going to hand it to Murphy. Murphy's tackled. What a great play. Satimi in the backfield, a loss of 4.
Oh, big play right there. So if Oskaloosa defense can rise up and get a stop here, it could come down to 1 drive.
I said Satimi, it was Casey Hill. My mistake. Casey Hill on the stop for Oskaloosa. Great play. They'll actually lose 5, and it's 3rd and 11 back to the 34. Oski has been susceptible to big plays on 3rd down. They have to get a stop here. The snap, fake handoff, Turner up the gut, and he's not going to get anything.
No. So now, oh, there's a penalty. The guy they got him too. They got it. He just scraped off an Oski player. Good call. So now they're going to have to punt.
They were in a spot where they probably would have gone for it on 4th and 11. Dead ball, personal foul on Washington.
That's a good call.
And they'll mark 15 off, and it's going to be right back to around midfield. So a pretty easy punt situation here, and the Oski offense is going to get another shot. Casey Hill and the interior line doing their job on 2nd and 3rd downs. And with that running game, you lose yards on one of those plays. Sometimes that takes you completely out of your rhythm.
Yeah, and I was going to mention this, waiting for the clock. They had a good rhythm going, and then trying to run the clock down also can take you out of, hey, we're getting it going. Now you're giving the defense a good time to set up and get ready to go.
So.
Well, no, it's not. That was after the play. The fans are yelling 3rd down. It was after the play.
Well, as long as the guys on the field know what they're doing, I don't think anybody's going to be listening to the fans here.
We don't need any penalties here.
4th and about a mile.
I'd watch the fake. You never know here at midfield.
4th and 27. They're going to run the clock all the way down.
That would not be a very good call, though. Whoop.
High snap. Willis brings it down, and he'll punt it away.
Good kick.
Deep. No chance for
Blocking
anybody.
Tyler.
And
all right.
That made it on the fly to the end zone. He punted that at his own 35.
Yeah, he put a big leg into it. Tyler needs to block the guy going down, trying to down it.
I would guess 68 yards in the air on that punt.
That was a boomer.
Wind is at his back, but still not an easy feat to say the least. But Oski's got it at their own 20, 80 yards to go. To get into Blom territory, probably 40,
30.
You got to get down to the 25-yard line probably. So you're looking at needing 55, 60 yards at the very least to put yourself in field goal territory. You'd have 2 timeouts, 5:42 on the clock, 4 wide receivers, and you're down 3, 45-42, Washington the lead.
Well, believe it or not, the Oskaloosa defense does what they need to do and gets the stop.
Here is Howard in the gun, takes a snap. He's going to run to the right side. He's got some space. Now he's going to cut it to the outside, gets a block. Look at Washington get hats to the football, though. That's one thing Oskaloosa's had trouble with tonight, and all of the black jerseys are rallying to the football before Howard could get enough of a crease to move it upfield. He's only going to gain about 3.
Yeah, and if this game very well could come down the way this clock's running to this drive right here. 5:19 remaining, 45-42 Washington.
4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Howard will be in the gun once again. Oskaloosa, I don't think, has any interest in trying to go as fast as possible now. They don't want to make sure. They want to make sure that offense for Washington doesn't get it back if they score.
And I agree with that.
4 wide, 2 to each side. The snap, handoff to Hill. He's got a crease, and he's going to be stopped about a yard shy of a first down at the 29-yard line.
Yeah, I think it's all or nothing right here, Emery. We're down to 4:49, clock running. 3rd down and short for the Indians here. Do you take a chance? They're going quick. They knew what they wanted to do here.
It is 4 wide again. Ball in the middle of the field going from right to left. 3rd and 1. Howard in the gun. Takes the snap, but he's looking to throw, and now he rolls out to the right.
Holding.
Howard was going to get first down yardage, tripped up after a gain of about 4.
That's going to be a big call against Oskaloosa.
Yeah, he gained about 4, but it was pretty clear where the flag came down. It was going to be a hold on the Indians. Not sure on who in the middle. The coaching staff, I think, is asking for who.
First down run.
And the chop block is even worse.
Oh.
So not only is it.
Wow.
So the chop block and where the flag is about 5 yards in the backfield.
Oh, that call hurts big time. Why we're chop blocking. We've been called for that a couple times this year.
If you're not familiar with that rule, it's a matter of the guy on top. There's a guy with engagement up high, and then a second guy comes in and takes him below the waist.
I know you think throw this ball up to Cole Henry, but you got Javon Willis over there on him. He's taking him out of the game.
I
think you need to look at Chapman here on the wide side. Throw it up for Chapman and see if he can go get it.
Mario Tapia.
And you got Miller.
Him.
You got Miller in the slot here with possible play over the middle.
Whistles. The Washington crowd making a lot of noise on what will be 3rd and 19 after they mark off the penalty yardage. It is Henry on the far side with, I believe, DeCock, with Miller and Chapman to the near side. Hill is in the backfield. 4:13 and counting on 3rd and 19 for Oskaloosa deep in their own territory. Howard back
throw
to
it up. Throw it up.
Got some time.
Throw it up.
He is going to throw it down the middle, looking for, intercepted. He was looking for Miller, picked off by Cade Hennigan. Hennigan inside the 20, inside the 10, inside the 5, and down to the 1.
Well, he had to do that. I mean.
And he had Miller open, just didn't have enough air under the football. And Hennigan, I think they were playing deep cover 4 all the way across, and he was able to have plenty of time to read where the ball was going, stepped in front of it, and made a nice return, which will make things a lot easier, life a lot easier for the Washington offense here, as they all have 1st and goal at the 2-yard line in Oski territory.
And that's why you like, right off the snap, throw the ball up, because then you don't have all that deep help, and you might be able to spring somebody. They did not have anybody over here with Chapman on this side that he had one-on-one.
Redlinger, direct snap to him in the Wildcat. He'll lower his head, and he'll get in for a touchdown. With 3:51 to go, Oskaloosa trails now 51-42. An extra point here. And it's a 2-possession game regardless of what happens on the conversion.
Well, now we get down to talking about points for next week.
You have to score, yes.
You need to score to get this down to a 3-point game. That is, if you can get this to a 3-point game and then you can win big next week, you still probably will have a good shot to get the playoffs.
Really good shot. 3:51 to go. The snap and
blocked.
The kick is blocked.
So every point matters right now.
Absolutely. How horrible have the special teams been for Washington in this game, though, really?
So 9. Now if you score, you can get it down to a 2-point game.
And that is going to look really good.
Yes, it is.
Even as a loss. 3:51 to go. We'll keep it here. So, Doug, what you're saying to me is you got to play this against 0 right now.
Yeah.
You don't want to get super risky and try to score as quick as you can here. You just want to play your best football and try to just get points however long it takes you, because you're right. The wild card is very much in play for whoever lost this game tonight.
Yeah.
But it really is
in play.
It is probable that you will get a wild card if you can keep this within 17 and even better within 10.
Yeah, if you get this down to a 2-point game. Now, I know they're not thinking like that. They're still going to try to win this game, but probably the smart thing to do is to take what they give you, take it all the way down, and score with little or no time left. That's hard to expect a team and coaches and players to think that way. They're still trying to win the football game.
Absolutely. But there is silver lining for Oskaloosa here with points of any kind. So this game is not over, even if they're down 2 scores here with less than 4 minutes to go.
Well, we've seen them score twice pretty quick.
Yeah. The kickoff from Torres on the way, and it's going to be a low-line drive. They're not messing with Miller. They go right at Miles, reels it in at the 13-yard line, comes straight up the gut, and he's got a nice big return across the 35 all the way to 40.
Okay, that's what we needed right there.
The special teams for Washington have been terrible, but the special teams for Oskaloosa, you can say, have been exceptional.
Yes, they have. That was a nice return by DJ Miles. He just hit it up in there nice and hard and got the ball up to the 40. So if you're Oskaloosa, that's exactly what you need. Now, they're probably going to play a little soft here and give you some stuff. You got to be smart and take what they give you.
3 minutes and 43 seconds remaining. In regulation, Oskaloosa trailing 51-42. But as mentioned, every point is going to matter in this game here tonight. 4 wide receivers. Oskaloosa in the shotgun with Seth Howard on 1st and 10 from their own 40. He takes the snap and will fake the handoff. He'll keep it going to the far side and then a little flip and incomplete over the head of Miller. And that's just him thinking.
There's an ineligible receiver. We had a lineman downfield.
So it'll be 5 yards, yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll either be 2nd and 10 or 1st and 15, one of the two. And that's the risk of throwing the football in that case if you're Howard. I get the idea. You're going to lose yardage on the run. Might as well throw it and just try to.
Well, that's why I don't like that play. I mean, I've never liked that play. It worked once earlier tonight, but that's the only time I've ever really seen it work. It's that right there. What are your linemen supposed to do? Stand there? I mean, nobody knows what's going to happen there.
Washington will get to elect whether they want 2nd and 10 or 1st and 15. So, you know, and that's the thing with some of these timing plays too. The linemen in their head, you know, if it's been 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, I got to get upfield.
Right.
When you're getting stretched out like Howard was and couldn't quite decide what he wanted to do with it, that makes it a little bit more difficult to make that decision. 3:37 left, by the way, in regulation with a 51-42 lead for Washington. And make no mistake, folks, the officiating has been solid right down the pipe. Both teams have gotten advantage of turnovers and made some big plays. But Washington has consistently won the line of scrimmage, and their offense has just been better than Oskaloosa's here tonight.
Yeah, they've dominated this second half. They've outscored us. What was the score? 21-19.
It was 26-21 at halftime. Washington.
26-21 Washington. So they've scored 25 points.
They've actually picked the flag up, but either way, it's as if they declined the penalty anyway. So it's 2nd and 10.
I don't know what they came up with there.
I don't know. Either way.
Yeah, they basically outscored us 25-0 on offenses. Well, we had 21. We got 7. Let's go. We got to take it all the way down.
4 wide receivers for Oskaloosa, 2 to each side. 2nd and 10 from their own 40. Down by 9 with 3.5 to go here in the 4th quarter. The snap to Howard. He's looking to throw. He steps into a deep one looking for Henry in coverage. Reaches up. Makes a nice catch. Over Willis. Willis has been doing it to people all night long.
Don't get a penalty, Cole.
Cole has something to say to Javon.
Nice catch, though. Nice throw by Howard. Cole goes up, so the Indians are on the move.
And it was quicker, like you said. Like don't let the help get there.
Don't run around. Throw the ball. Put some air under the ball and let them go get it.
First down after a nice pickup of about 21 yards. It's down to the 39-yard line in Washington territory. It'll be a fake handoff. Howard's going to keep it. It's that option play again, but it's DeCock. He's got some room, and he's going to have more first down yardage as he'll be pushed out of bounds. We'll see where they mark him.
Well,
actually, it was going to be spotted at about the 23.
If we can get this in and get an onside kick, you're looking at a possible field goal to win this thing.
You never know. 1st and 10 at the 23. Oski near the red zone. 4 wide receivers, 1 back. Howard in the gun once again. He'll take the snap, and again, he's looking to throw. He's got time, fires it toward the end zone looking for Cruz, and he's not going to be able to make it there. Both players, Tapia and Cruz, were hand fighting all the way down the field, and it was Howard's throw was to the inside. If that's more to the outside on a back shoulder, Cruz has a better chance to make the play.
Yeah, he just laid it up there too far. Good protection, though. Good job by our offensive line right there. You know, I think we need to look. Seth needs to look at stepping it up and running it right through the middle.
4 wide receivers.
like a quarterback draw here.
We'll see what they do on 2nd and 10 from the Washington 23. Oski.
Snap, bad snap.
And then there's a flag, throw over the middle to nobody.
Well,
there's a flag immediately thrown as about 4 black uniforms came through the line of scrimmage. The timing off on the play, as Doug mentioned, because of the bad snap. And that's going to be 10 yards. And on this near side, pointing at himself, is Tucker Irwin saying, yeah, it was me, sorry.
Well, they just jammed the middle there, and they brought a blitzer, and the snap is on the ground, and it throws everything off. The other thing is we need to vary our snap count a little bit, because it looks like they're getting a good read on that.
And they've been coming up the middle almost this entire second half. I mean, their defensive front has gotten to Oskaloosa's backfield pretty easily. Either way, it's a 10-yard penalty from the spot. It's going to move him back 17 yards from the original spot, so it's 2nd and 27 now.
Well,
ball spotted at the 40-yard line in Washington territory.
In all honesty, I think the playoff berth is on the line here in this last 3 minutes, whether we can score or not.
It could be. You really would like to punch in at least 7 here, make it a closer finish, because that's going to look a lot better resume-wise. They're going to line up with 2 wide receivers to the far side, a tight end, a fullback. Hill in motion. They fake the screen to him. Howard on the run, gets slowed up, now throws. He's got Henry out in the flat, but he steps out of bounds at the 35, and
now
flags all over the place.
An eligible man downfield.
Yeah.
Our linemen are downfield.
Again, it's a timing play. It looked like it was a fake screen, but
it was. They were going to run some type of screen.
So is Howard just not getting rid of the ball fast enough?
Well, the screen wasn't open. It was supposed to be a screen. It never came close to developing. And Casey was waving his hands right away to get him the ball out there.
We'll see what the decision is here from the coaching staff, and they'll decline it. I was going to say, you have 3rd and...
Yeah.
You have 3rd and... I mean, they gained 5 yards on the catch, so... Unless they said Henry's foot was out of bounds when he caught the football. I didn't see the official ruling over there. Oskaloosa saying that the ball was a catch. They're trying to... So we have 2 different discussions.
Well, yeah.
You talked about it.
They have to take the penalty, because otherwise they get the yardage on the catch.
But it was only 5 yards. It would be 3rd and 22 or 2nd and 32. And they'll take the yards.
So it's 2nd down.
And these guys have had their hands full tonight in stripes. So now we're walking this thing off for 5 yards. So it's going to be 2nd and 32. Down marker says 3rd down.
No, it should be 2nd down.
It should be 2nd down. Somebody's got to.
Well, Jenkins is not happy about this.
Well, I think his argument is that they've already declined the penalty. You can't explain it to them.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a point there. They declined the penalty.
The only thing you could say, though, is if you told the Washington bench that it wasn't a catch, but then it was a catch. We didn't have anywhere else to be tonight. It's all right. 2:52 left in regulation. We'll see how this thing goes. The down marker still hasn't moved. They haven't told him to even move from the spot yet. He does have 2nd down correctly on his down marker. And now it's going to be 2nd and 32. Crowd's starting to get restless, even though their team's in good shape, with all the explanation going on. And now the clock is wound, and we're ready for play. All right, 2nd
and the clock starts.
Yeah. 2nd and forever. 3 wide receivers and an H-back. Hill in the backfield. From the Washington 45, Howard takes a snap. He's got plenty of time. They're in a prevent defense, and he throws a bomb looking for Miller. Goes up.
Got it.
Did he catch that? He did not.
Oh.
Could not bring it in.
Boy, I thought he had it.
Yeah, he went up. He's got some athleticism. Willis, along with Jamison Bell, Cade Hennigan, who had the interception, they are both in the mix over there. A couple of interceptions by Howard. in this half. Oskaloosa's offense has been pretty stagnant. It was a couple of special teams touchdowns that have really saved this game and made it as interesting as it's been in the second half, because Washington has been the better team on the field. They lead it by 9, 51-42.
They're just going to have to throw it up now, a Hail Mary.
3rd and 32. Howard in the gun with 4 wide. Takes the snap, and he's looking to throw. He fires over the middle, intercepted again.
Don't let him score, guys.
It's Tristan Westfall-Edwards. Flags.
What's a flag?
I don't know, but going down the sideline, Howard will push him out of bounds at about the 20.
So that's a post penalty.
Yeah, no, it's going to be the interception is going to stand. But now it's a matter of trying to, at the very least, if you're Oskaloosa, hoping that this is going to come back from the spot, and they'll have the entire length of the field that they still have to work with.
Well, you certainly don't want to let them score here.
Yeah, because that would put you in danger of keeping it around that 20 or that 17 point.
You'd be right at it, almost.
They're walking it back. Washington celebrating because they got the interception. Yeah. But for Oskaloosa, that's not really what's important here. They just don't want Washington to get the ball on the Oski 20-yard line where they would have had it. Tristan Westfall-Edwards, how about him? He's quietly had a real nice game.
Yeah, this has really been a dominating performance in the second half by Washington.
Block in the back, 10 yards from the spot, and instead of on the Oski 20, Washington will get it at their own 38. So that's quite a change in field position. And if you're Washington, 1 first down is all you need to reel off this clock. Now if you're Oskaloosa, you just don't want any more points to be scored against you. 51-42, Washington still has the lead. It's going to be a handoff to the running back Redlinger, and he carries a couple of guys and gets to about the 45, and it doesn't look like Oskaloosa is going to burn their timeouts, and wisely, I think. Because,
I think so.
Because if you started using your timeouts, that just forces Washington to make more gets them a chance to run as many plays as they want.
Yeah.
Washington now knows they're going to win this game. They have nothing to gain by scoring a touchdown. You just hope that if you're an Oskaloosa fan and a supporter and a coach and a player, that they just decide to run this thing out.
Well, they're not going to take a knee yet.
No, they have to get a first down to be able to run the clock out. 2 backs, and the gun is Turner. He'll take the snap, and he'll keep it. He goes up the field, and he's got that first down, and he'll just fall forward to the 46-yard line in Oskaloosa territory. And a late flag.
Oh, no.
The referee threw that one behind the play well after it was over.
Is it going to be on Oski?
Well, Oskaloosa's reacting as though it is.
We cannot give up a touchdown here.
Well, I believe the clock will start on the down marker, and then they can take 2 knees and be out of here. But we'll see what the penalty is. And there's another one.
Uh-oh.
Just got one.
Let's just get the game over with. This is a playoff berth slipping away possibly by getting 30 yards and penalties here.
So 2 15-yarders on Oskaloosa after that play. And what you're hoping for.
So now they're down to the 15-yard line.
What you're hoping here is they just take 2 knees and you get out of here.
Well, you got 25, 50.
Does Washington?
Washington may see a chance for the kill here.
Well, I mean, the way this game's been played,
Oski's got 2 timeouts.
Well, if you're Washington, do you just say, you guys, this has not been a very clean game. Let's just try to end your playoff hopes right now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They go for the kill now.
Just try to, make it at least sweat it. I mean, make them sweat it a little bit.
They're running the clock, but they just now started the 25-second clock. So
Washington's just standing there.
They did us a big favor there. They ran 10 seconds off of the game clock
before they
didn't start the actual.
And look at they're willing to run this clock out.
Well,
so
now that they know that we're not going to call a timeout.
1 minute. This is going to be a handoff. Redlinger, flag. Crowd just cannot believe it. That's in the holding area. 56
now
seconds
another
ago.
flag.
Ugh.
What is going on?
The first flags looked like they were holding penalties unless we see there's a face mask in there
somewhere. Get this over with.
We're trying to keep it together up here too. It's been a long night for us. This game really has
been. It didn't rain. It's been nice out.
It's not been a bad night.
You could have wore shorts tonight.
It's not been bad. I don't know about shorts.
Well,
here we go. Holding. And that's on Washington. Dead ball, personal foul on Washington. So they just handed you 25 back.
All right.
So 10 for the hold, 15 for the dead ball personal foul. It'll be 1st and 25 with 55 seconds left. They still need 2 plays, but the way Westfall Edwards is standing, it looks like they're going into the victory formation, which Oskaloosa is cheering for right now to keep this at a 9-point game.
Boy, wouldn't it be something if that extra point, I mean, it can be that close.
They missed 5 conversions.
Yeah, when it gets down to that wild card and they figure out
they missed 5
where your points are at.
If it's within 5 points, Washington gave that to Oskaloosa.
Yeah. What are we doing? Just mark it off.
Well, I think they're trying to figure out if it's still 1st or 2nd down. It is a hold. Oski's going to decline the hold, so that'll make it 2nd down and 15 yards from the end of the run, which was about a 3-yard gain. 56 seconds to go, and Westfall Edwards about 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage in victory formation. The Washington crowd wanting to just cheer their team as they'll take a knee here. Clock is running, and I think if they could, I think, kneel this inside of 35.
Yeah, by the time they set the ball.
Turner still in the gun, will take the snap and take a knee. And I think that'll do it. They'll take their time setting the football. And that will be it. So Washington really was up against it after the beginning of the first half, or the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Oskaloosa had themselves a touchdown on a kickoff return by Tyler Miller to take the lead 28-26. And then on the ensuing kickoff, Washington fumbled it. And it was returned by Zuhair Mamoun. And Oskaloosa scored another touchdown on that return. So 26 seconds into the 2nd half, Oskaloosa scored 14 points and had themselves a 2-possession game and a 2-possession lead. They would score on their first offensive play of the half, and that was on an 85-yard touchdown run by Seth Howard. But after that, a pretty unbelievable 2nd half played by Washington on both the offensive and defensive fronts. Oskaloosa special teams were the big bright spot tonight, Doug, but I think we can both agree that the better team won this game here tonight.
Absolutely. I think the better team did win this game. They executed, believe it or not, we had chances to go up 17 points. Twice, and could not convert deep in Washington. I think this game almost turned on that 3rd and short, and we rushed under the center, didn't get it, and then they stopped us on 4th and short, and that was to go up 17 points, and we could have almost broke their will there, and they got right back in it. And yeah, I tend to agree the better team won this game tonight.
Oskaloosa will look to rebound, and they need a big win against West Burlington Notre Dame, which is expected. But they also are going to need some help with a bunch of people around the state of Iowa, because they are now looking for a wild card berth for the playoffs, as Washington does get their revenge after last year's loss at Oskaloosa. This one was a wild one, with a final score 51-42. Oski falls to Washington here tonight. We'll take a break, come back, give you the post-game show, and wrap it up right after this on the No Coast Network.
Providing high-quality professional eye care with a truly caring staff is what Oskaloosa Vision Center has been doing for more than 30 years. With our state-of-the-art equipment, we can provide comprehensive eye exams, prescription glasses, and contact lenses, as well as medical care like eye infection and disease treatment, emergency eye care, and pre- and post-operative aid. Newborn to adult, we have the experience to meet all your eye care needs. Oskaloosa Vision Center. Come see us today.
Swim Sports is once again open in Oskaloosa. This is Doug DeCock, the new owner of Swims. Along with Doug Swim, we are happy to be open again. Swims has a wide variety of trophies, plaques, and engraving available to Oskaloosa and the surrounding areas. We have an assortment of uniforms, socks, and belts, along with other sporting goods at the store. Swim Sports also provides a full screen printing facility for your screen printing needs. Come check out the new store at 118 A Avenue East in Oskaloosa. The two Dougs would love to see you at Swim Sports.
If you are looking for brand names close to home, then look no further than Penn Central Mall in Oskaloosa. Penn Central Mall has a wide variety of stores for people of all ages. Find the perfect pair of silver or Vigas jeans at Maurice's, get a pair of Oakley sunglasses from the smiling staff at Eye Care Partners, cozy up with Ashley Furniture from Gilworth Furniture, and find that dazzling diamond from Gardner Collier Jewelry. When you're done, grab a bite to eat at Miranchito or the Pizza Ranch. It's all at Penn Central Mall in Oskaloosa. Shop, walk, and enjoy Penn Central Mall.
Look at that mouth. That poor, parched mouth. What'd you eat for lunch? Chalk dust? Did your face storm a sandcastle? You're being awfully quiet. Is that because your mouth feels like the business end of a Dremel saw? Is it because your mouth just wrote a haiku and all 17 syllables were dry heaves? Right now, your mouth could be tongue bathing in the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Instead, it feels like you've been motorboating King Tut's sarcophagus. Show some mercy. Crack open an ice-cold Mountain Dew. You know your mouth wants you to. Do the Dew.
Dreams start early, illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
Back one final time from Washington. Final score 51-42 in favor of the Demons, and they protect their home field. They were the better team in the game. We've talked about that already, but where does Oskaloosa go from here, Doug? The most important thing that I think, if you are an Indian supporter, is that you have yourself a situation now. You go in next week, you just take care of business, and you're going to have to rely on some other teams from around the state making a difference in their scores, and we'll get a chance to crunch numbers. It's way easier to predict one game needed for these different districts and these wild card contenders than it is multiple weeks. But for the most part, if you're an Oskaloosa supporter, you become scoreboard watchers next week, assuming Oskaloosa can take care of business against West Burlington Notre Dame.
Right, that's if you're a fan. If you're a player or a coach, you got to pick up the pieces. You got to get your head up, and you got to go down to West Burlington and really take care of business. If you don't go down there and 17-point them, then you don't even need to watch scoreboard, in my opinion. So just focus on the next game. That's the motto. One game at a time. Everybody uses that, but they've got to pick the pieces up and get their heads up and go down there, and they still have a chance.
They do still have a chance, Doug, and of course this game was a wild one, 51-42, Washington with the win. Of course, scores are more presented by Bubbler. The post-game show with all the scores from around the area is still happening, so be sure to stay locked in for that. And the Indian Power Hour, if you're an Oskaloosa supporter, Cade Snakenberg, Calvin Silvers, and Nick Ryder will be talking all things cross-country and some other Indian items as well, so be sure to check that out, 7 a.m. tomorrow morning on KMZN. Doug, appreciate you joining me, and we'll be talking to you again next week.
Yeah, quite a game here tonight. I hate that we came out on the wrong end of this wild affair here, but let's put it back together and go to Burlington next week and pick up a W.
Absolutely. Doug DeCock, my broadcast partner. Big thanks to Kenny Jones back in the No Coast Network studios. Our director is Titus Letzring, the Oskaloosa video production program, and Oskaloosa High School. They have, of course, helped us throughout tonight's action tonight as well. So big thanks to everybody involved. That'll wrap things up for my broadcast partner, Doug DeCock. This is Emery Songer signing off. The Oskaloosa Indians, a loss tonight by a final score of 51-42. And they'll be looking to pick the pieces up against West Bloomington Notre Dame to wrap up the regular season next week and try to get a wild card berth in Class 3A. For the No Coast Network, I'm Emery Songer. Be sure to check us out next week against West Bloomington Notre Dame on the road right here on the No Coast Network.
You've been listening to Oskaloosa Indians football.
Brought to you by Bank Iowa, Mahaska Drug, William Penn University, Fairway, Raymond James Financial Services, Roxburt's Decorating Center, Oskaloosa Vision Center, Swim Sports Awards and Screen Printing, Hawkeye Real Estate, Cloud Valve Company, Robert Auld Investments, Mahaska, Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, Penn Central Mall, Kelly Style Insurance, Oskaloosa Area Chamber and Development Group, Pedrito Orthodontics, and Pella Printing.
This has been a presentation of the No Coast Network.